Mucho and BDA was the same person. I swear, bro.
All right, we're live. We're live, everybody. We're fucking live. I told you I was going to be back. And I'm back. And I want to thank everybody who's joining us, everybody in the chat as well. And please hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. Or if you enjoy the show, I should say. And yeah, let's talk boxing. Let's talk about what's coming up this weekend. Big fights. There was what's it called? The open workout was happening today. I was watching it a little bit. Nothing really happened. But I don't know. What
Yeah,
do you guys
those
think?
things are boring.
Yeah, that's fucking boring. I don't even know why I mentioned it. But guys, are you feeling the hype, the excitement?
I'm
looking forward to the fights, but I don't know how
Always
much hype is behind them. You know, did they let the public in to the workout?
Yeah, I think I saw some people there. To be honest, I didn't really pay attention, but I think there was people there.
So they did the open workouts for who? Canelo's card, or
No. For the New York card Friday.
so they didn't have any people. They didn't let any people in there.
Let me check.
To hype it up.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. Were there people in the chat? Let us know. Was there anybody there?
I see something, Mucho. I see something. Ramirez is in shape. He's hungry.
Oh yeah, somebody posted a picture.
You know,
of him.
Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Haney tried to tell him you're too small.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not true. They're the same size. Ramirez might be bigger than him.
Yep. Robert Garcia.
He definitely punches harder than him.
Yep. Go ahead.
If he's still half of who he was, he could walk Haney down and put some beaters on him.
Yeah. No, I saw some pictures of Ramirez and he looks in shape. So it's just the mental thing, though. That's the question. Is he mentally there? But at the same time, is Haney also the same after getting beat up by Ryan Garcia? We don't fucking know. So both of them, there's this big question marks next to both of them. Yeah.
American fighters are never the same after they've been buck broken that first time.
I don't know. Give me some
Ryan had him shitting his pants in the ring, dude.
I mean, that's true, but like, what do you mean American fighters? Like, which one? What's? Give me some other names.
Once they take it, when he's undefeated type of dudes, when they take Amir Iman, when he lost to Adrian Granados, what happened to him?
Yeah. Well,
Errol Spence. What happened to Errol Spence?
Montana Love. Once he lost, what happened to him?
Errol Spence. What happened to him?
Errol Spence. Once he lost, where'd he go? Austin Emma Williams.
Charlo? Jermel?
Carlo, where he at?
Where is he?
One of the Charlos didn't even lose. One of the Charlos didn't even lose, and he still got buck broken.
Right.
Yep. Because he lost that fight at Caleb Plant in the streets. He got smacked up. He's like, I'm never fighting again after that. That was his loss right there.
Hey, let me.
It's the American undefeated
Steve Colbert.
As soon as you lose a fight, you're just never the same.
Colberto.
Yep, Colbert.
All right. You know what, guys? We're gonna limit the. How many are we right now? Like
7.
7. Yes, limit of 9 people, and we're gonna open the phone line. So we'll talk to the callers. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna post the link in the chat, and if you wanna jump on, limited panel again, limited fucking panel. We don't want any chaos. So let's do this. By the way, did we get your predictions, guys?
Yeah, I'll shoot mine real quick because I'm working.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me see. What we got going on with the? Who do you want to start off? Just the Fatal Fury one.
Yeah. So let's start with Garcia and what's his name again?
Garcia, second round knockout, clean knockout, one punch.
All right. So Gonzalo says Ryan Garcia, second round. Okay. Next,
then we got Teofimo Lopez versus Barbosa. Dude, trip me out. Check this. Just put Barbosa a split decision. I don't know why.
Barbosa's gonna defeat Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, split decision.
Okay.
in Ramirez Haney. I'm gonna say controversially, Haney wins.
Haney by
What do you
robbery.
think? Yeah, Haney by controversy. I don't know if it's robbery. Just
Well, I mean, well, what do you mean controversy?
First,
Like a fucking disqualification or something?
next
Oh, you
fight.
mean like a weird stoppage or something? I get it. I get it. Okay.
That they say, well, maybe Ramirez deserved. And Haney will be like, nah.
You're breaking up, Gonzalo. You're breaking up bad, man. I don't know where you are. You might be in the basement.
Sounds like shit, bro.
You sound like shit. You sound like shit.
Yeah, so no, just put Haney by
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got all your predictions, man.
Okay, cool.
It's gonna be a pain in the ass
I'll
writing
join
these
later. I'll
fucking
make that work.
predictions. All right, call back when you can. Jump on. All right, so
Yeah, later.
see ya. It's gonna be a mess because for these predictions, BDA gave me a list, but he split it in three because obviously there's three fights. So I gotta like scroll and you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna write them on the side and then I'll add them when I have time.
Oh, you're never gonna do that, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I am. All right, so I got three predictions here from. Okay, now it's your turn. Sobers.
Let's who first?
Let's start with Garcia Romero.
Well, I got I'm pretty sure Ryan's gonna knock him out.
Garcia,
Do you want a round?
Yeah, just one round.
I'll say the 6th.
All right, and then let's move to Teofimo Lopez Barbosa.
That one's a little harder for me to predict. If I'm looking at their styles when I'm watching them box, I think Barbosa's kind of basic. You know, he got the build for a fighter. He got the long limbs and small torso, but I think Teofimo's just too athletic. He might be faster than him. I think it'll look like the Josh Taylor fight, right? So I think Teofimo will beat him. Let's say, I guess, yeah, decision for Teofimo.
And then what's the other one? Haney Ramirez.
I'm gonna get saucy on this one, bro. I'm gonna get Ramirez beating his ass, getting like a split decision.
All right. Next, who else do we have in here?
I'll go.
Quentin.
All right. Or it's what we do. Garcia Romero. I'll go TKO Garcia for round 5.
Garcia round 5, and let's go with Teofimo Lopez Barbosa.
Lopez by majority decision.
All right, and then Haney Ramirez.
I'm gonna go Ramirez too. I'll say Ramirez also by majority decision. I think he's coming in there with that killer instinct back. Robert Garcia has him in shape.
What the fuck?
I think he's gonna be.
Are you guys sure about this? I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are jumping on the Ramirez bandwagon here. Is
Hey, not everything.
I'm not seeing. A lot of people are, man. Let's see.
Yeah, not everything.
Well, what are you saying, Bucho? You're back on the Haney bandwagon or what?
I don't like Haney, man. I don't like. But actually, okay, listen.
Are you sure about that?
Hold on. No, I don't like Haney, but if I look at it from a boxing perspective, it's better that Haney wins because then we get that Garcia Haney fight with some hype, you know, because both guys are coming off big wins. Mm-hmm. Well, not big wins, but wins.
Well, one thing we realized about Riyadh season, there's always someone that spoils the apple cart, right? Upsets it. You know, they wanted Joshua and Wilder. Well, Wilder lost. They wanted Joshua Fury. Joshua lost and Fury lost. This could be another where they think they're going to get the rematch between Haney and Garcia, and Haney ends up losing to Ramirez unexpectedly.
It could happen. I can see it, man. We've seen it in the past.
Yep. So, I got Ramirez by majority decision.
All right. Who else is next here? Who else do we have?
Yeah, you have me.
Telkine.
What's up, Bucho?
What's up, man? All right, let's write this shit down. Telkine. Let's start with Ryan Garcia against Romero.
Ryan Garcia knockout.
All right, which round?
I'd say probably about rounds 6 through 8.
All What's next here? Barbosa, Teofimo Lopez.
Teofimo Lopez.
How?
I would say knockout round 11.
Okay. Ramirez, Haney.
I would say Haney by robbery decision.
I can see that happening. All right. All right. Anybody else? Who else do we have in here?
I'll go.
Other predictions for the weekend as well.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot, man. Well, okay. We're gonna write this one. So we're gonna make it official. Then we'll talk about the other fights. We'll see if we write them down. Severino next. Garcia.
I mean, I picked Garcia. Either a 5th or an 8th round stoppage around there. Who's next? I think Ramirez or Haney. I got Haney. Unanimous decision. Barbosa, Teofimo. That one's kind of hard, in my opinion, because it can go almost the same way as what's his name, as just this Josh Taylor fight. But the only caveat is this guy is way younger, and he doesn't have any problems, or at least what I'm aware of, he doesn't have any ways making weight 140. So I'm gonna go risky on this one. I'm gonna pick Barbosa by a split decision, because I think Teofimo still is gonna stick his chin out. He's probably gonna get knocked down without getting hurt like usual. And yeah, I think that's the whole car, right?
Yeah. All right, we got the predictions written down here, and who else? Nobody else, I think. Who's that for you?
I would like to get solid predictions.
Yeah.
Come on, Soul.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
I said I would like to get solid predictions.
Yeah,
you know he's gonna pick all my.
Exactly. Let's get him in here.
You know he's gonna pick all the mayates, if you know what I mean.
Which one? Okay, well, how many mayates do we have? Like 1, 2. All right.
Haney and just Haney.
Teofimo counts like 1.
So yeah, he does. He even said it. He's everything. Every race, every nationality. He's the world.
Look loco, man.
He lost his fucking mind. I don't know if you've seen the interviews.
Sorry to cut you off, Mucho, but sorry to cut you off, guys, but I'm just seeing the open workout, and Ryan Garcia, he looks fit, man. He looks in shape.
Well, he said that this time around he's taking it seriously. I mean,
no, he looks, he looks lucid,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his fundamentals like are in check. Yep. Go ahead.
He's still ass. Don't get it twisted, but I think he kind of sort of like taking this stuff seriously, and I think he's talented enough that he's still dangerous, man. Mm-hmm. He's a good boxer, man. He's just he's kind of puta,
a little bit. But yeah. Romero said that Garcia doesn't do well against punchers. So I was thinking, okay, how many punchers, or what are the punchers that Ryan Garcia has faced? Tank Davis? Duarte? Was Duarte a puncher?
I mean,
Duarte?
he has.
No, he's a pressure guy. He's more.
Here's the thing: he has faced punchers. It's just like they're so little compared to him that it doesn't really matter. Because Fortuna was considered a puncher, but Dime, like motherfuckers was like a 122 or some shit. I think the guy Duno, the guy he knocked out in the first round. Yeah, I think he was a puncher. Luke Campbell, his style is like a boxer puncher, but he's not he doesn't have any like crazy power. He's one of those ambush type of guys. He can get you with something solid, and like just like Garcia got knocked down. But
I get it. So he's
Davis,
never
I guess,
faced a puncher his own size, and Ramir and Broly, although he's a big puncher, he's small. So you're saying there won't be any Garcia won't have any with this guy?
I mean
Broly does have that retard strength.
He does.
I mean, the thing is, Broly, he like the other guy mentioned, like, he had that caveat of, he's really physically strong. But the thing is, I think Ryan Garcia is gonna maul him, man. If he couldn't do nothing with Pitbull, man, I don't really think he's gonna be able to do nothing with Ryan. You know,
Ryan
I think
Garcia
Ryan's
said that,
gonna.
It's taking it
Yeah,
serious
Ryan-
as well.
yeah, Ryan said that Rolly Romero, I should say, has never looked the same since
Hasta
that,
se parece un poco a Oscar ahora, right?
who? The, Ryan Garcia?
Ryan.
In what sense?
Yeah, like Oscar, like.
Like physically? Like what do you mean?
No, like yeah, like face wise,
It's
he looks
the,
like a young Oscar now,
the drinking. But I was gonna say
La
that
Coca.
You're checking them out or what?
Ryan Garcia said that Rolly Romero has not been the same since he got stopped by Tank Davis, which I guess makes sense. But then again,
I mean,
he's always been terrible. You know,
Good.
if you think-
Yeah. He was never good.
I mean, it makes sense, but also at the same time, it's just like, you know, after Tank Davis, he fought who?
Ishmael Barroso. The
No,
old
but
guy.
Isham, yeah, but Ishmael is a legit puncher, man. You know, he le movió la cama a O'Hara Davis, man. Like,
Mm.
Mhm.
but the thing is, I mean, in my opinion, it's just like he been fighting like just fighters above him, I guess, like really, really above him, like Tank Davis. But I think like Tank Davis, Ixad Cruz, Ishmael Barroso to a certain degree, I think they're all around the same level. If you're gonna ask me,
Yeah, they're about the same level. They're not nothing special.
yeah, exactly. They have like physical gifts and like little things here and there. Because in my opinion, you couldn't make the pros if you don't have something special. But I don't know, man. Like these guys, I think they just roaming around the same level. I think Tank Davis is about to be exposed. Well, again, but in a worse level now, because everybody can see like his power is just a myth. If you're not draining of really smaller than him in the ring, like he can hurt you.
So, which fight do you guys think it's the closest one? The most
I think that Lopez and I think Lopez and Teofimo. I mean, sorry, Lopez and Barboza.
Barboza.
Yeah.
I get confused. All these fucking names. Yeah, Lopez Barboza.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, Quentin, what do you think?
I think Ramirez Haney's the closest because we could talk about styles matching up. You got the
Okay.
pressure fighter versus the outboxer. That's what I think.
Delkines? I don't think he's there. Let's see what people are saying in the chat here.
I think
Yeah.
I think there's a big amount of pressure on Haney, man. I think because they put like an easy fight to Ryan, and they gave like this, this mid. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be all that, but I think that's like a mid-level tier fight. If Ramirez can like summon the old Ramirez when he was the unified champ, yeah, he probably can beat him. But how he's been looking lately, man. No, man, ese hombre se fue, yeah, like that man doesn't exist
He
anymore.
looks even
After he got married, man, I think he got soft, man.
that could be it actually. No, it wasn't the Josh Taylor loss. He was probably
No, I don't
getting
think so. I
married.
think right after he got married, he
Yeah,
just
exactly.
he
It
just
was
got
probably
soft,
the
man.
marriage. He can handle the wife or something. No, but he does look like he's out of it. Like he's yeah. He doesn't like the fact that they're nobody's taking him seriously. The promotion and everything, and obviously they're already talking about Ryan Garcia
I
fighting.
mean, also
Haney.
you
Yeah.
have to understand him, man. Like he's like he's like the only like grown ass man in there. Everybody else is like outside of Barbosa, I guess. Everybody else is a Gen Z, So if
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's yelling, talking shit, and everything. This guy's like, I'm here to fight.
like man, like even myself just looking at the screen, I feel like nauseous, man. Like I just can't imagine being around those motherfuckers.
Who's
like-
the worst one? Who's the worst one? I mean, Ryan Garcia's right now. He's acting, more serious.
No, but Ryan Garcia, as cringe as pájaro as he can be, when he's when he's on his shit, he can be like more, when he's not like like showing stuff on the camera and shit like that, he can be less cringe than Teofimo, because Teofimo, man, I don't know, man, he's all over the fucking place.
People definitely tries
Oh,
way
troll
too
box.
hard.
And what do
He's
you?
what you
Yeah,
call
I
a
think he's
troll
trying.
box.
I think he's trying. I'm with Sovereigns. I think he's trying to be like too deep. You know, like that guy who's really a clown. And he's trying to be deep.
Yeah, but you
Mm,
can
I
be
think
deep and
he
a
comes
clown at
off
the
like
same
that,
time. I mean,
in my
these guys trying
opinion.
to be both. I know people that try to be deep, but they don't like clowns. These guys trying to do both at the same time, which is even more cringe.
Yeah, he's
You know?
trying to be like deep
It's
and slick at the
absolute
same time.
masterclass. It's an absolute masterclass what he's doing. Come to think of it, he's one of the greatest trolls of all time.
La mierda class.
And
That's what it is, bro.
I mean, you gotta realize who Ryan Garcia is. He's trying to be unpredictable. Like you saw that before the Haney fight when he was doing all that weird clapping songs and stuff at that face to face. You know, he's good at throwing people off and making you think he's not serious, and it's good to see him take a more serious approach.
Bro.
I think.
Teofimo.
Yeah, what about
Teofimo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also in the mood. I think he's gonna fuck up Barboza personally.
Yeah, but what about his attitude? He's acting weird. He's acting like he wants to be deep and a clown at the same time. He tries to act
Wearing
hyper.
that yin yang bandana.
He's
got
gonna
his
be.
nipple out. He was like a stripper farmer. Like, what the fuck outfit was he
You
wearing?
know what's crazy? I think no, and I think you're right, man. I think he just does stuff like for reaction of like clips, because like when he took his hat off, he showed like that ridiculous yin yang bandana. It's like because everything is about balance. I think he was expecting people to do like, oh, you know what I mean, like, what I mean, like, oh.
No, in his mind,
Like-
in his mind, he's deep and philosophical and but in everybody else's mind, this guy's just a fucking clown.
Deep in el culo. That's how it
I mean, he's a good troll, man. He's a good troll. You gotta hand it to
Why
Teo.
is he behaving like this? Why is Teofimo Lopez?
Nah, man. I think even to be
He's trying to throw you off,
even
man.
to be a troll, man. Even to be a troll, you need like some type of like talent
have
about
some
that. I
fun.
think he just come off as cringe, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a big enough vocabulary either to be a troll. I mean, like he doesn't even know what do you say? Oh, you had plural. You had. Like,
No, not even like
Plural.
even. Oh yeah, yeah. What the fuck was that?
he doesn't know what words mean. I mean, that's terrible.
I guess
Bro,
at the end of the day,
he
it won't
shook his
matter how
ass,
he
man.
behaves. What's gonna matter if he wins this fight? Now, if he loses against Barboza, where does he go from there?
I mean, I think he still can come back.
I think he'll just go to fighting bums, kind of like Nassim Ahmed
Nah, I
fought
think-
that Spaniard bum.
If he
after
loses
lost
against
to-
Barboza, no, hold up. But if he loses against Barboza, I think he just can get a rematch. I don't think
Really?
his career is all that, anyways. To like, say like, oh, he's going to shit just because he lost another fight. Like, that's okay. He lost. Like, it's better than losing against Barboza, and he came back from it. So it's not really
Yeah,
that
but
crazy.
how many times can
you
he
know?
pull that off? You know what I mean? Like, that's the
No,
question.
yeah, again, like he just can go like as a regular guy, like like
You
a
think
meat.
so? You think
In
he's
my
gonna be
opinion, he's
up
like
to
a
it?
beat.
You think he's gonna be up to it? I think he won't even be training at that point. I think he's
No, I
gonna be
think he still can get like some fights. Like he still can like fight Caro. He still have a couple of fights he can make.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you guys think? What happens if he loses? Where does he go? Somebody.
The mental side.
A recoger basura, man.
Yeah, seriously. I think he goes to a mental asylum or something. I think
He go to mental
collapses. I think the only thing motivating him right now is that he's still the lineal champion, and there's a future for him. If he wins this fight, he's still like some sort of a star, I guess, in the sport. But if he loses this fight,
And I think Bucho, man, I think it's kind of sad because everybody can see the talent, but I think he just need, in my opinion, because when I see him fight, a lot of times, bro, I don't hear a lot of instructions from his corner, and I'm not only talking about like the Cambosos fight, even like fights after that. Like I never hear like good instruction. Like for example, like with the Claggett fight, I never heard like anything about slipping a jab. He was just telling like stupid ass shit, like don't let yourself be pressured and shit like that. Like okay, great instructions. Like,
yeah.
and
Amazing.
like and come on, and you can do this and things like that. But I think Teofimo a lot of times, bro, he has to like pull things out of his ass.
He's been fighting on pure
Which
talent
is
and no guidance.
no exact. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I believe so. Like, cause I think he looks the best when he was on the Gamach, man. That's when you see like the reflexes coming in like good, you know, because he was getting like actual training. If you remember how his like training film used to him being with the noodles, you know, just like dodging it and escaping it and blocking it. But now he's just doing like how you call it, like hombre bruto type of workout. You know what I mean?
Like a basic workout, no, like what do you call it?
Just like bully type shit. You're sitting in the back to explode. You know, you're showing you like your physical and shit. Like it's not really nothing into training, no jabs, no nothing. You know,
we'll see.
And something about Teofimo is like you don't really need to be that crazy to beat him. You just need a good, consistent jab because he couldn't do nothing against Claggett just with a jab. So you can miss maybe all that like
so Barbosa
crazy
could
shit
pull
he
it
does.
off, man. Barbosa could pull it off.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Barbosa can pull it off.
Yeah.
I think Barbosa can still pull it off, man. And Barbosa, man, a lot of people, you know, as much as they want to say this, Teofimo should have fought this dude years ago. He'd been ducking Barbosa for a while.
Yeah. And I think
he
even
knows why he's ducking him,
it, right? Even Teofimo admitted it or something. He's like, yeah.
El pendejo ese no le queda de otra to admit it. Like,
yeah.
He has to admit it because it's kind of obvious.
But he kind of played it as if it's not a big fight. Nobody wanted to see it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. He's trying to do the A side shit, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's not even an A side. He's like a H side, like because he doesn't even bring people around.
Okay, is he a star in your opinion, guys? Is he an attraction? I mean, he's a lineal champion, but that doesn't mean that he can. That means he's automatically.
I think he's an attraction, just as Haney's an attraction. Like he's an online attraction, but when it comes to like pulling crowds, like it's just really hard to do because he has lost so much momentum by every single good win he has that it's really really hard to like catch up. Because the thing is, he fights what's his name Loma. He goes for like a 2 years. So he used to be like a 2-0 fight and loses. Then go back up, fight Josh Taylor, and then go to a hiatus again, and
All right, let's get another take here. Quentin,
go ahead.
Star or not? Is he? What is he? What is Teofimo Lopez?
He can be a star if he has more consistency. And one thing that I agree with Severino is that when he had that big Lomachenko win, he had all this momentum and he didn't capitalize on it, in my opinion. He started acting like he had finally made it just because he had one big win. He started acting like he was a bigger star than what he was. He took the Kambosos fights so many times, and maybe that was during COVID, so they had to keep rescheduling it. But then, got some more momentum when he beat Josh Taylor, and then what did he start doing again? He started acting like he made it once again. And he just keeps, it's like he's a hot and cold fighter. Jermaine Ortiz, a lot of people thought that he lost that fight. Sandor Martin, he gets put down. This is going to be a fight where will he be on the hot side again? Will he have another spectacular performance?
So,
I think he will.
I think it's one of those. No, I'm saying this is one of those fights. It's an important fight. This isn't Claggett or whatever. Who else did he fight? He looked like shit. There's a lot of them.
I mean,
Ortiz.
There has been a couple of fights that have like shit.
Yeah. Those in between fights. So the big fights were like Lomachenko, big fight, successful in that fight. After that, he looks like shit and loses against Kambosos. Then
I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, I'm gonna give you those big fights, but those are big fights on paper. But if you're gonna go, and go look at those fights, Josh Taylor struggled to make the weight for a couple of years, and he had like tendonitis or some shit on his knee. And then Lomachenko, like days after, he had a fucking shoulder surgery. So it's like, can you really say that? Like,
well, yeah. A lot of people are now, I mean, and then you have Josh Taylor, who before he fought Teofimo Lopez, fought Carol. And a lot of people thought that he lost that fight. So basically, he had already lost. He had already looked like shit. And then he looked like shit again against Teofimo Lopez. But, that was the Josh Taylor that Teofimo Lopez beat, basically.
I mean, listen, he didn't whoop Josh Taylor's ass like people make it out to be, because I was there at Madison when at that fight, and it was more like a 7-5. That's like the most domination I can give Teofimo Lopez, a 7-5. But he was struggling a little bit at the beginning, just you can tell Josh Taylor was running out of gas, and and for whatever reason he just couldn't like lean on his knees, man. But that shit was going down, man.
Mm.
And I remember even that he claims to be in New York. Everybody was rooting for fucking Taylor.
Really?
Yeah, man, I'm being serious.
Some people even say that
When
he
he-
doesn't even have a fan base over there in New York.
Lo que pasa es que he just was born in New York, just like this guy, Eric Spence. But he said, but he was raised in Florida.
He lived in Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
Grew up, I should say. Okay, yeah.
So he's a Floridian, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
so
like
why did he
Florida.
only fight like? And
Go
once
ahead.
he only fought once in 2023. It was the Taylor win. Why did he not fight again? Like he really ruined his own momentum.
I think Taylor can really make 140 again. I don't really think so.
No,
It was
I'm talking about
rumors. It was even rumors on if you remember the camps that he did for Cairo. He was really struggling and coming back from a knee injury as well.
Yeah, I'm talking about
¿Qué pasó?
Lopez. Why did he fight once that year? Lopez did.
Why didn't he fight who?
I said, why did he only fight once that year? The Taylor win. He didn't fight any more times that year.
Oh, because he's a dumbass. That's why. That's I've been saying. Like he never catch up the momentum when he gets a good win. Like he can just do because the thing is after that I think he fought no I think he fought regular I think he just lose like shit too because he fought Jermaine Ortiz.
Wait, Sargent.
Sandra Morton.
Sargent
That
is
was
still
back-
retired. Did he retire? Did he ever? Was he one of those
Oh
guys who said
yeah,
he's retiring?
it was the fake retirement he did.
Fake,
That's
okay,
right.
he had a
Oh.
fake retirement. Okay, that's
That's right.
common in boxing now. I don't know why these days. I think I'm seeing it more often. These fake retirements. Oh, I'm retiring. Like Tank Davis is coming. He said, remember that 2025 was gonna be his last year. Nobody fucking believes it.
Sometimes they do that just because they have like let's say his contract is about to run out and they have like 6 to 7 months left and it's like okay I don't want to put into like some crazy ass fight just because these do want to get rid of me and put me like in a fight against like some lion, some crazy shark ass prospect and get my ass whooped for nothing.
Okay, that could be it. All right, and what else? Okay, so we have.
I mean, if you see like closely, like for the most part, they always have some, especially these young guys, they have like some bitter ass relationship right after they leave a promotional company, like Edgar Berlanga with Eddie Hearn. For whatever reason, he was calling him out. Like Shakur v ESPN. You know what I mean? Like they all have like some bitter ass relationship like towards the end.
All right, we have Don Madrasas as well here.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
What's up,
I'm looking at
Madrasas?
my notes. Oh yeah, okay, just your thoughts on this July the 12th card, where Shakur's gonna fight Cepeda.
Yeah.
July
That's a co-main event. The main event is Berlanga against Hamza Shiraz.
But are they in Puerto Rico?
The fight's taking place in New York. Yeah, exactly. No, they say it's gonna be in Central Park. That's the plan. I don't know if that's
Ain't that crazy, man? That Shakur Stevenson, that everybody claims he's a fucking superstar, he's like his second on the court.
Yeah, give me your thoughts on this. Why do you think this is happening? Do you agree with this?
I gotta say,
I think they just know his real market value. I'm not saying he's not like a serviceable fighter. He really is. You can see it by his talents, even though sometimes it's kind of boring. But he's a serviceable fighter. Even though again he's boring, like he kind of like attracts people. But at the same time, he's just, in my opinion, he's just not a main event. Like
Yeah,
he's just
but
not a main event fighter.
who's on record for selling more tickets? That's my question. And
Well, I
it's
mean-
got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, Berlanga sells well in New York. Like whenever he's in New
Really?
York, he packs just the same as Shakur Stevenson. But the thing is, it's only so much money you can ask for a Shakur Stevenson ticket in Newark.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
like not a lot of people wants to go there unless you're from Newark yourself.
Wait,
so.
is it in Newark? Is it in New Jersey?
No, New York.
No. But I'm just saying,
Oh,
like,
New York,
if we're
okay.
talking about tickets, Shakur Stevens is only a draw in New Jersey, and as much as Berlanga is kind of corny. Like he attracts people in New
Okay,
York,
but
so they
some
they come
people
the
are
same. If
saying
you
that
ask me.
the reason why Berlanga is and Hassan Shiraz is the main event is because Turkey Al Sheikh has some bias towards Shiraz. I guess because they're Muslim. I have no fucking idea.
Wait,
So,
I
can you
doubt it.
repeat?
I think
Can you repeat it? Who's headlining and who's on the card? Is Shakur the headline and
no.
No.
Berlanga,
Berlanga's the headline.
Berlanga Shiraz is the main event, co-main event. Cepeda against Stevenson.
Okay, I see.
So what the fuck is this? Like,
Well,
I guess
you
it
gotta-
makes sense. Berlanga sells more in New York.
Yeah, but it makes sense all because Shakur's shit the bed how many times in a row now? Like,
Yeah, but Cepeda, this is the fight everybody wanted. Cepeda Stevenson, or boxing.
I
Fight,
know,
right?
but
The
it's
Mexican
like-
fan base and.
but it's a
yeah,
well,
but
that should be
Cepeda doesn't really have like a
Vegas.
crazy fan base, you know. Like
That's true.
Yeah, and
Cepeda is not one of those like well known Mexicans either way.
yeah,
So
but if they
it-
wanted to cash in on that fight, it should have been on the West Coast, on the Mexican crowd. If they wanted to cash in on that,
That's true. But they
put on
decided
another
to-
Mexican American fighter in the card, and then there you go. That you're going to make money
No,
for
that
this
shit-
fight.
Yeah, that would have.
Yeah, but it's you wouldn't say that, but the thing is, like for a fight like that, you want like a build up. And the thing is, these guys are so like monotone, and Shakur Stevenson is so annoying that he might just like deflect people.
Yeah, listen, you guys. If he shits the bed on this one again, like I wouldn't say he shit the bed with Padley, but you went several rounds with.
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I like how they're treating. I like how they're treating Shakur in this particular case, just because they're treating him like just another regular fighter. I think they were disappointed after they pay him around $5 to $6 million for this electrician dude.
That's a great point. Great point.
And then you have the nuts, la bola, los testículos, manito, lo grano, to argue about money when you got overpaid just to fight like a regular, day-to-day job, and you struggle with him.
Yep. Exactly.
May I add? Because if you remember the fight, so I'm gonna finish real quick. If you remember the fight, Padley just got tired. I couldn't withstand the ass whooping anymore. But
I don't
if he
know
would have been
about
more in shape, he would have seen the final belt.
You know what? That's a good point too, because he just got off of a job. He was on a ladder installing conduit, and the next thing you know, he's in the ring.
You think his coworkers got him lunch the next Monday?
What?
Dude,
What?
you can tell that motherfucker still have his hard helmet somewhere.
Yeah,
What are you gonna
Butcher,
say? Quentin, go ahead, Quentin.
Yeah, I just said in the general chat, I just posted an article. It's saying that Stevenson Zepeda is the main event. So, yeah.
Well, they changed it now. I guess if that's true.
Yeah, they may have changed it because I also heard the same thing a couple of weeks ago that Berlanga was going to be headlining.
Yeah,
That
this
is
one's
pretty
5
stupid
days
to
ago.
make him.
Yeah, this one's only 5 days ago, so it's pretty recent.
Oh, okay.
Bro, that is pretty stupid to make him the main event, because you got to think, right? He never headlined before. Everybody complains he's boring. With Berlanga, you could at least say he sold pay-per-views with Canelo. So
He didn't sell
Shakur,
anything. He didn't sell anything. I mean, Canelo
well, not
sold
him.
everything.
Okay, you could say he was part of an event where he headlined, right?
Yeah, but
Like,
can you imagine? Can you imagine just sitting down at the making negotiations with these motherfuckers, with these two overinflated egos?
Bro,
Berlanga's been saying the promoters and the promoters and I, we should be socios, and these and then Shakur Stevenson, who thinks he deserves $10 million, just to show his gaps. So it's
crazy, right?
Hey,
nah,
guys,
yeah,
now-
but
yeah.
he's been struggling with money too. As much money he's been
Wait,
making.
who's been struggling with?
Shakur.
No shit, they paid him a lot at the top rank, bro.
Yeah,
They
but the
paid
thing is, he's
$3
being
million
he's being,
guaranteed a fight.
but let me tell you why though. He's been investing a lot of money into his girls R&B career.
What a
I mean,
fucking
I don't really follow music, so I don't really know, if it's going good. I hope it's going good. But he's investing a lot of money on that shit, man.
his own money? He's investing his own money? What a fucking moron.
Yeah. Because she always wanted to be like a rapper, because she's one of those pass around in the industry. So I think her ex was NBA MVP, some shit like that, and
You got passed
I
around.
don't know, I'm getting old.
Damn, dude, that's fucking.
Somebody's calling, somebody's calling Shakur Shakak. Who called him?
I mean, you can say that because, like, what I heard, because my nephew was telling me like the other rapper thing, and I heard like that rapper had like herpes. So like, if Shakur got with that girl right after that dude, man, like he's herpes Stevenson.
All right. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's open up.
Hold on, Pucho, I want to go on record, right, for this week. It's gonna be Ryan KO.
All right, hold on.
Devin, you.
What name do I use? You have like 50 names. All stock or what?
Either one, Old Stock, Cuauhtemoc Matablanco, whatever you like, man.
All stock. Okay, let's start with Garcia. The Garcia fight.
Garcia, KO.
Round.
I'm not gonna call the round. I'm just gonna say KO.
You gotta say a fucking round here. Come on.
You gotta say a round, dude.
I mean,
all right. It's gonna be under 10.
A round.
Yeah, under 10, bro.
Come on, bro.
All I'll say is if you're gonna bet Garcia by KO. Next is Devin Haney by a boring ass UD, and Tio by maybe split or UD.
Split decision.
That sounds good. Yeah,
I got it. All right, I'll add it to the big ass list. What else? Somebody wants to say something? Gonna open the
I got
lines.
something to say.
I hope Teofimo loses.
I think we're about to open the lines, Bucho.
Yeah. Go ahead,
My
Mirage.
prediction.
Yes.
My prediction: Canelo's going to look mediocre against Scull, and his fanboys are going to be embarrassed, and they're going to be making all these excuses. Oh, he carried him. He didn't want to scare. He didn't want to
I
scare
think he's gonna
Crawford.
knock him out.
No,
He didn't want to scare off
Williams
Crawford.
Cole's gonna
Mirage, you
fool
don't think
Canelo.
Canelo's
Put
gonna
that
lose?
prediction down,
Alright.
He's gonna
Bucho.
go the
Yeah.
Keep that
distance.
prediction
He's gonna go
down.
the
Okay.
distance.
I'm choosing
wait,
Williams
hold on.
Cole.
One at a
Hold on.
time.
You don't think he's gonna lose?
No, he's
I
gonna
think
look
Williams
mediocre.
Cole's gonna win.
No, guys, you hit.
Yeah,
Okay, Mirage.
I
Okay,
think
guys,
Williams Cole's gonna win.
let me say something. This is Bucho. Mirage saying that Canelo's gonna win, but he's gonna look average and like shit or something like that. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and Telkines, guys, you have to listen to this guy. Go ahead, Telkines. Tell us what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be a split decision. Williams Cole's gonna win 10 rounds, but on the scorecards, it's probably gonna be 7-5.
All right.
Oh, there you have it.
They're never going to give him the decision. It's going to mess up the mega fight.
I think Canelo's gonna lose. Also, they might give him the decision, but I think he's gonna lose.
If Scull knocks him out in a miracle knockout,
I don't think he's gonna knock him out, but
they're not going to give him the win if he knocks out Canelo. You understand that?
If the sun explodes tomorrow.
Yeah.
If he knocks out Canelo, he still loses the fight. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
You don't understand.
Your hate for Canelo has consumed you, consumed your soul.
And your love for Canelo has consumed you. Now what?
I don't know.
I don't think he loves Canelo. Dude.
All right, let's open.
Hey guys, did you enjoy my videos?
Click
I'm going to
connect to
drop
show
some
now.
videos. I've been sick lately, but
You are
I
connected
know
to
you
the
watch your
host.
videos, Bucho.
Welcome
I know
to
you
the host.
watched them, and I
You
know
are
you
now in the
enjoyed
host
them.
room
And I
and
know you
manage
enjoyed
your
them. You're not
call
gonna
up
Is
do
it
that.
like a video of
the
you
web interface.
playing video games?
Don Madros has watched. He's a subscriber. Subscribe.
Subscriber to what?
Get educated, entertain.
On how to play video games?
No.
How to
Boxing.
jack off in my mom's basement?
You don't,
All right,
you don't know
this is a
nothing
family
about
show.
boxing.
This is a family show. What the fuck? All right.
Let's go back to boxing, guys. So
I think the phone lines are open. By the way, guys, hit the like button or I'm ending the fucking show. I'm fucking dead serious here.
Yeah, I'll
Hit the
give you a
like,
like.
hit the like.
Give a like. Give a like to Bucho.
Yeah,
Give a
exactly.
like. He deserves it.
I deserve it. Yes. And
I agree, Dark Hado. I don't know how you say that, but yeah, he is a secret Canelo fan. You're right.
what the fuck, guys? The phone lines on your screen. The red numbers right there. So call in.
So,
Yes.
yeah, call in. Call in,
Yeah.
give us your
Call in. You
idiotic
can talk
take.
to Mirage. You can talk to who else? With Don Madrazos.
Yeah, call in and tell us how excited you are for Canelo versus William Scull.
Well, I
and
mean,
how
we
long
have a
he's
lot of
saved
we
up
have a
the
lot of
money.
fights here. We have also Munguia Suraz, the rematch. We'll
Oh,
see if
yeah.
it was a fluke or whether Munguia is really that trash, that much a piece of trash.
He might turn it into a
Canelo
trilogy.
to win this fight.
Because imagine Munguia has a trilogy with the great Sriracha, man. That'll go down in the
Hey,
history
could
books.
happen.
won't it?
Sriracha?
It's Suras. I don't know. What is Srirachi?
Sriracha,
Raz.
whatever. Man, it's gonna be embarrassing if he fucking struggles or lose, man.
Well,
You
of
know?
course. What the fuck, dude?
I mean,
I
everybody
Yeah,
knows this.
and
Like,
Munguia was the
you acting like nobody
guy
fucking
you
knows
pumped
this.
up.
Listen, the sad part about the weekend's fights, it's a good deal. I'm gonna buy him, but I don't think we're gonna get anything
Canelo
like
thanks
we.
you. Canelo
I don't
thanks
think
you
we're gonna
for
see. I don't think we're gonna
money.
get anything like we saw last week. That's for sure.
Oh, you mean that great fight between
Yeah, the Conor Ben and Eubank fight. We're not gonna get anything like. I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that Barboza and Tio ends up like that, but I don't know if it will. Like, that's going to be tough, man. Because I know Barboza will be there to fight, but I'm just hoping that Teofimo's dad is that much of a scumbag and starts telling him to knock him out, and we see another kind of bloody Teofimo.
Could happen. It could happen. And I'm gonna tell you why I want Devin Haney to win after we take this phone call here. Let's take a phone call. 669, you're on the air. 669. 669, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's on your mind?
Not much. I'm just trying to give my predictions for the Canelo Scull card.
Yes, what's your name?
My name's Vessel.
Oh, yes, Vessel. All right, go ahead. Let's start with Garcia.
Excuse me? Is there with what?
Yeah, let's start with the Garcia fight. The Garcia Rolly.
Of course, Ryan Garcia wins that, man.
All right, what's your prediction?
Ryan Garcia wins that 8th round stoppage.
8th round stoppage. Okay.
Yeah, he stops Rolly.
Then we have Lopez against Barboza.
What was it, Barboza? Barboza.
Okay, I guess by decision.
Yeah, it would have to be by decision. I don't think there's any other way he wins.
All right. And then the final one, Haney versus Ramirez.
Haney.
By decision, I'm guessing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the ass style is too powerful, man.
All right, all right. So if Teofimo Lopez loses, what's next for him, in your opinion?
I think he takes a Ryan fight.
Lopez?
Yeah, right after that, why not?
Well, I think because right after that, right after this event, it's going to be Ryan Garcia against Devin Haney in October.
I don't. That's the thing. I'm kind of like worried about. I feel like Ryan won't take it.
They have a
like
trailer.
He won't want that.
Did you see the trailer? They have a trailer. That's really they made a trailer for that fight, which is weird.
Really, that like that?
Go watch it. Go on the zone.
Programming.
Yeah. So it's pretty much a done deal here.
So I guess Then I don't know who I would like to see. I guess Lomachenko versus Teofimo would be interesting. I guess like a send-up fight.
Yeah, I guess that could be a good fight. Anything else, caller?
Here's one thing. I feel like Munguia is going to lose again. That would be really funny. I want that to happen.
It could happen. I don't know. We'll see.
I really want that. I want another knockout. I want him to get knocked out again. That would be hilarious.
Okay, no, if he gets knocked out again, I don't think he should ever step back into the ring.
Yeah, someone should take his Mexican card too.
Oh yeah, he should be. He should no longer be a Mexican citizen. All right.
That's true.
Anything else? That's it.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Take care. All right, guys. Don't forget the phone lines are open. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. What else? We have Fight Sports Talk, aka
what up, Joe? Thanks for having me on.
What's up? You want to give us your predictions?
Yeah, my predictions, they haven't really changed because basically all the guys who are supposed to win should win. But I'm getting less and less certain about Teofimo. Like, he's giving me Kambosos vibes. But by saying that, he should still win because Barboza is good, but unspectacular. Devin Haney, unless he's really, really lost like all of his defensive skills, he should be able to outpoint Ramirez without too much trouble. And Rolly Romero is just there as a punching bag, so there's no way Garcia is losing that fight. So my thoughts really haven't changed much.
All right, so Garcia by stoppage, I assume, and then
definitely. Yeah, I'd say probably early stoppage. Haney by shutout decision, because again Ramirez is like tailor made for him, but I'm getting very tempted to pick Barboza in an upset, but I'm still picking Teo to win, but I have a feeling it's going to be kind of similar to the Steve Claggett fight, where he's probably going to get hit a lot more than he should.
Damn. I'm hearing a lot of Teofimo hate over here on this channel.
Butcho, I get accused of being a Teofimo. I mean, people accuse me of being a hater of many fighters, but I actually I'm a Teofimo fan. I really like the guy. I thought after he beat Lomachenko, and no one's a bigger fan of Loma than me, I thought we were going to see the second coming of Tommy Hearns. And I'm just, as a fan, I'm just disappointed in him. So it doesn't come from hate. I want him to do better.
It's hate. It's okay though. What else?
No, it's not. Come on, Butcho. Come on.
No, you're right. No, you guys are right. I'm just. This is the controversial Butcho. You know, that's for the show. For the sake of the show, I have to turn into controversial Butcho. And by the way, I was gonna say, when it comes to Haney and Ramirez, I want Ramirez to win, but at the same time, I think it's better for boxing if Haney wins. Again, because we need this big fight. We need Garcia and Haney. And we need both of these guys to fight each other after coming off 2 wins. Or, winning. After winning. I mean, nobody's going to want to see really Garcia and Haney after Haney loses to Ramirez. So for the sake of boxing, for the greater good, this must happen. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you actually brought up a really good point that I've been on several shows, and some of them don't like that Turkey's doing this. I think it's a good thing that he's getting these guys to have warm-up fights before they fight each other. Therefore, they'll be better when they do fight each other. But it's an interesting situation where none of the underdogs are that compelling. Like, Rolly is just, there's nothing really to say about him. Ramirez was really picked out of obscurity, and Barboza's a good challenger. He earned it by beating Catterall, but it's just he's not. None of these guys have a ton of intrigue behind him. So it's one of those situations where, like you said, if either of the favorites lose, then not only things get shaken up, but they don't get shaken up in a good way. So it's one of those cases where you want the favorites to win.
I mean, it's almost designed that way because of the matchups. But if there is an upset at one of the stars, or whatever you want to call it, the more flamboyant fighters that are fighting out of those 3, it will be a shaken. Like, yeah, I could see that. It could shake it in a negative way, but I don't know. But people like me, I don't really care for either of those fighters, of the so-called stars. I think they're all kind of shitty.
You don't care about anybody.
I actually am rooting for Barboza in this whole exchange. And it would be cool if Ramirez won, but although I think Ramirez is kind of shot. So he never recovered from the Josh Taylor loss. So I don't know.
Actually, at the same time, I also want to say I want Teofimo Lopez to win, not because I like the guy, but because he's good for boxing in a way. I know he's not a star, but he has some sort of appeal. And if he beats Barboza, he's set up to fight another guy, another big name. He could fight Ryan Garcia down the line. That would be a big fight.
If you want to see him fight again, if you're interested in seeing him fight, I kind of just don't care anymore to see.
No, I don't care about him, but it's an attraction in a way.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. It's for the good of the sport, and it's an attraction. But let's face it, these guys are just they're just not that great. I mean, maybe Teofimo, I don't know. That's debatable too, but they're just not that great. You know, I mean, Ryan Garcia is a C level, maybe C plus. I don't know. Just he's not that great either. Fundamentally, he's not a very good fighter.
The living legend in the chat is saying, let me just put his comment here. He says, Teofimo Lopez is a star. What are you talking about? He's the youngest 4-belt champion in history.
So can I comment on that? Because I hear a lot of people say that. They talk about what he achieved. And again, I am the biggest Lomachenko fan of all time. And I was so impressed by what he did. But, guys, that was 2021. We don't live in the past. We live in the future. And here's the thing. If you think, if not you guys, but anybody in the chat thinks I'm being overly critical of Teo, you should, again, we live in the present. You should want Teo to do better because we haven't seen the same Teo since that Lomachenko fight. He looked bad against Kambosos, and his attitude of the fact that he still can't take responsibility for what happened is concerning. And again, I say that as a Teo fan. He didn't look good against Jermaine Ortiz. He didn't look good against Steve Claggett. And it's fair enough to say that he was unmotivated for those fights, but this is another thing. I did a video on this last year after the Ortiz fight. If he was unmotivated, then he shouldn't have been calling out Terence Crawford, because if you get outboxed by Jermaine Ortiz, terrible idea to say, I'm going to go in there and knock Crawford out. So he's all over the place. He needs to get his head on straight, and that's how he beat Lomachenko. Like, everything you said about being the youngest 4-belt champion in history, all true, but he did that by having his head on straight against one of the greatest fighters of all time, and he hasn't had his head on straight since. That's the problem.
Well, there you have it, the living legend. He's not a star. He's saying you're delusional. You're living in the past. Get with the times, all right? Mohammed, I'm Art Bruce Lee. He says Taylor was only undefeated on paper. That's true. A lot of people thought he lost against Cotterill before he faced Teofimo Lopez. So, yeah, no, you're making some good points there.
Again, I always make the best points.
Not really, but we'll go with that for now. Guys, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. Don't be shy. Call in, and hit that like button. All right, hit that like button. I was gonna ask Never Sobers. I don't know if he's here still. Never Sobers. Well, we can come back. I'll ask him. What else do we have in here? Barbosa and okay, so a lot of people are picking Teofimo Lopez now. Sorry, Barbosa. A lot of people are jumping on the Barbosa bandwagon. When it comes to Garcia and Rolly Romero, what's the likelihood of an upset?
I mean, listen, Romero could throw a wild hook and catch Ryan. He's not a fundamentally sound guy. It's a risky fight for him. It really is. I mean, if Devin Haney was able to catch you with that hook, Rolly Romero could catch you with that and really hurt you. So they're going to be the same weight, and they're not that. Is there a difference in height? I didn't.
Yes, there is.
I think they're.
Like 2 inches?
Is Ryan a little bigger?
Yeah, like 2 inches taller, 2.5 maybe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Rolly supposedly he's got some power, but I don't know, against a better fighter. He's been fighting his D-level guys. You know, I don't know, man. Ryan could get caught. He's not a good. Fundamentals are out the window here. They're not that good. I don't know. He doesn't listen to his trainers. Obviously, he's doing that stupid Philly shell that's giving people his ass. So if the ref okays somebody hit him in the body, they could hit him in the kidney. I mean, that's what Devin Haney was doing. So imagine if somebody hits him a little harder there, he could go down.
Yep. And again, Romero said that Garcia doesn't do well against punchers. So we saw that against Tank Davis. But then Tank Davis,
I don't know. The Tank Davis was a fluke because of the weight thing.
I think he's retarded, as we're trying to say, more of like fresher fighters.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't look good against Duarte. He was turning his back. He looked uncomfortable. He didn't look comfortable, basically.
Yeah, but I don't think Duarte is a hard puncher. I think he's just a pressure fighter. He just throws a whole bunch of punches.
You're right.
He's more like a younger version of Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, but but you were talking about fresh fighters, and Duarte, I guess, was fresh in a way. I mean, he wasn't a bad boxer. He wasn't really small, and he caused Garcia some problems. Now Romero, I don't know. He's if he lunges in like he did against Tank Davis, he's gonna get caught. We'll see. What are people saying in the chat here? Paracua says Canelo still runs boxing. Nothing changes.
The funny thing is, Rolly doesn't really have to launch to Ryan catch him, because I think Ryan can catch him from the outside as well. Ryan has his right hand is really underrated. His defense is kind of shitty, but Rolly still can catch him with something surprises. But
I agree with you on that. Ryan does have a snappy right hand, and I wish he would use it more because his timing with the right hand is great. In those moments where he catches people with the right and comes up with the left, that right's pretty fast. I mean, he's a fast guy.
He is fast, man.
And there's always a chance you could get caught. But I'm going to quote something Larry Merchant said, because Romero really only has a puncher's chance in this fight. And Larry Merchant famously said, a puncher's chance basically means no chance, because you're banking on a lucky punch. So, of course, Romero can catch Garcia, because Garcia is he's an offensive. He's very formidable offensively. His defense is bad, and the only reason we didn't see him get picked apart or get hurt against Devin Haney is because Devin Haney can't punch. So, against the guy who can punch, there's always that opportunity. But Romero is so open to be punched, he should not be lasting more than 4 rounds in this fight. But because Garcia is a wild man, we don't know how switched on he'll be. But even if he gets caught by Rolly, I don't think he's going to get knocked down. I mean, I know he quit against Tank Davis, but that was him being winded to the body. So, yeah, you asked the question, Butcho, what kind of chance does Rolly have? I would say no chance, because, yeah, punch the chance basically means you don't really have any chance.
All right. Well, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on Rolly Romero in my humble opinion. So we talked about those 3 fights. I don't know if you guys want to talk or say something about Canelo versus Scull. I don't know what you can say about the fight. Yeah.
Well, what can you really say about it? Nobody wanted to see this fight, but because there were no other options at 168, they kind of had to go with Scull again. I didn't want to see it, but I'd much rather see this than him fighting Chris Eubank Jr.
It's a bullshit fight, and I think that I just consider Canelo I think he's semi-retired. He doesn't want to take any risk, any chances at all, nothing. That's why he's moving towards Crawford. Obviously, he doesn't want to fight top-tier competition right now. He just wants to make some money, and that's it. I get it. But I'm still not going to.
I'm glad you've accepted reality, Don. Finally, good on you.
I've had this opinion for many years now, because he hasn't really been.
Right, I thought, weren't you one of those making excuses?
I think you're kind of mixing up the fact that
I get confused with all the Canelo fangirls.
No. I think you get confused with the fact that I don't like people like you that are just obsessed with one fighter versus my general opinion on boxing and fighters and their careers. I could be objective here and say, but you can't be objective though. You're just not an objective person. You're just obsessed.
Your general clueless opinion. You think that matters?
listen, man. I mean,
I'm far more objective than you, believe it or not.
Does anybody here on this panel even believe what this guy is saying right now? Of course, you're obsessed with one fighter. You can't. Every time Canelo comes up, you can't wait to interject your opinion about how he sucks because your boyfriend is not fighting him.
Be objective.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Nobody takes you seriously, Mirage. I don't know what the hell you're doing here anyway. I mean,
according to who? You?
According to me, according to a lot of people, they don't take you seriously, dude. You're not. How could you take someone like you seriously?
All the other delusional people you hang out with, well, their opinion fucking matters. Wow.
I think you're a sick guy, man. You need some help.
Lucky your opinion means jack shit. So
well, you need help, man. You need help. One day you'll realize it, and you'll thank me. You'll thank me one day when you get help.
Give me the number.
When you get help, you're going to be like, yeah, thanks. I got to thank Don for helping me here. Perfect. Because my life's going down the shitter.
You got to shrink to recommend.
So the fight, back to the fight. I don't really care. I mean, the only reason I think Canelo might lose is because he does fight a lot more often than most people. So the more you fight, the more fights you have, the more chances you are to lose. Like there's a lot more opportunity for you to lose than to win. People are always studying you. People are always anticipating what you're going to do. And, they're going to want to be prepared for you, and they're going to prepare a lot more because there's a lot of money and there's a lot of prestige that comes with winning and beating that guy.
Hey, guys.
So I don't know. It could happen.
Canelo beat him?
I don't know. It could happen. Canelo's
not going to get a
down.
decision. He's not going to get a decision. So his only chance is
knockout. I mean, we don't know that. We don't know that.
No, you don't know it. Like I said,
we don't know
much.
You know.
Yeah, we don't know that.
We do know that the scorecard, the judges are incredibly biased towards Canelo over the last 10 years. Apparently, you still haven't worked that out.
I don't think so.
Okay, hold on.
He lost.
Hang on, you don't think so? Did you just say you don't think judges are historically biased towards Canelo?
I don't think so. He lost to Bivol convincingly.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Okay, he lost 7-5.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Every other
you referenced the Bivol fight, which supports my opinion.
I don't know what you're saying.
Most people think he lost almost every round, yet the judges still gave it a 7-5.
What else was close besides the Gennady Golovkin fights?
You cited the Bivol fight.
He's talking about
the Bivol fight he lost. And everybody's opinion.
Okay, do you remember the scorecards for the Bivol fight?
Yeah, there was one judge that had it a lot closer.
No, weren't all three 7-5?
Mirage, can I jump in here?
Weren't all three 7-5 fights?
Mirage, can I just jump in here? Yeah, I know. That's what I wanted to. That's what I wanted to point out. To Don, all three judges gave Canelo 5 rounds in this fight, and if you watch that fight. Absolutely terrible. Canelo has a case.
I agree.
Don, he lost it was just but the problem is that the judges were so close to robbing him, and that's the problem. I mean, the judges were so close to robbing Usyk against Tyson Fury 1. So if you can have the guy who was the clear winner win the fight, but if the judges score fights way closer than they should be, that's still the problem. And that's the thing. Canelo got his head boxed off that entire fight.
Of course.
And the judges still had a case to rob him. Because they almost did.
Listen. I'm not disagreeing with you guys on that at all. All I'm saying is that he lost the fight. There was no robbery there. Sure, the judges' scorecards weren't, wasn't what we saw. I saw Canelo win 2 rounds in that fight. I gave Canelo only 2 rounds. Maybe the second and the
biased judges towards Canelo.
Maybe the second and the third. But listen, I'm just being objective. I'm not trying to say that I'm a fanboy that doesn't see that. Of course, I see that. He's a star of boxing. But this happens far too often with a lot of fighters. But what Mirage is choosing to do is just single out Canelo as it only happening to him.
I mean, Benavidez.
I said Canelo. I didn't say he's the only fighter on the planet.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. You're singling him out and saying like
they're going to have Canelo.
Favorite guy.
So when I mention Canelo, I have to mention 10 other fighters or something, so you don't get emotional.
No, but
Listen,
it's like,
I didn't jump on here when you were talking. You were talking, and I didn't say anything. I started talking, and then you jumped on. So yeah, you're obviously very
no,
defensive.
because
about
here's the thing.
something.
Here's the thing. Mirage says that there's absolutely no way that what's his name? Scull can win the fight.
Scull.
Obviously, it's difficult, especially with the judges, because they're gonna favor the A side, the guy that makes
Right.
money. But it's not
But that's what
impossible.
NBA
It's not
fighters
impossible.
do.
We've
They're
seen it
Turkey
happen.
judges.
I mean, we've seen it happen. Sometimes, like the Bivol. Okay, Bivol clearly won the fight, and they couldn't, even if they tried to manipulate the cards, there was no way Canelo was gonna lose that fight. That Canelo was gonna win that fight. Sorry, because Bivol won so many rounds. So it's possible, unlikely, but it's possible that Scull wins so many rounds that it's impossible to rig the cards.
Butcho, there's no William Scull is not good enough to beat
I know,
Canelo. Like,
I know. I'm not saying that. I'm saying my prediction is he's getting knocked out. We watched the fights off the air. We watched William Scull's fights. This guy has no fucking defense. He's getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. So
no,
I don't even know. I don't even know if he's going to get knocked out, Bucho, because he hasn't knocked anybody out for a while.
This guy, he will get knocked out. And I don't think he has like a chin, he's not as big as Berlanga. Berlanga had a chin. Berlanga had a chin, and he was big as fuck. And he actually, his defense wasn't even that bad. His defense wasn't even that bad. This guy, he's gonna get caught.
And he's going to get hurt. Like I was just, you asked what kind of intrigue is there in this fight, and because William Scull is I mean, literally, he's probably just a regional level fighter, or like British level, or American level, regional level, whichever. The reason there's no intrigue in this fight is because, again, he literally has no chance of winning unless Canelo becomes ancient overnight. But that's not going to happen.
Well, see,
I mean, you're right. He's already declining. But
the reason why I pointed this out is because this Mirage and Madrasos got into an argument about if it's possible whether it's possible or not that Scull can win the fight. It's possible. But Mirage is completely.
I think it's possible too, man. I think it's possible, and it's only because Canelo's slowing down. And for the reasons I said earlier. But that being said, I just read right now that Conor Ben sparred with Scull and he knocked him down.
Okay. So I watched.
Is that true?
No. Okay. So I watched an interview that.
I'm not putting any.
Hold on. They had an interview.
We can't put weight behind sparring.
They had an interview with Scull like 2 days ago, and they asked him about that Conor Ben thing, and he said, "Yes, we did spar. I was just starting my training camp. He was already like on a roll. He had already started the training camp before him. But he said that, but he didn't say that he got knocked out. He said, I did pretty good, something like that. But he basically said it was a fucking lie. And he doesn't know why they're talking shit like that.
Yeah, we're not even considering this is in Turkey's backyard. Turkey judges, the Turkey agenda setting up the Crawford fight.
It's
no way.
I mean,
listen, we get that.
We all agree with you, Mirage.
We get that.
I mean, nobody disagrees with you. I don't know what the point is.
I don't think you get much at all.
What is the point?
No. The thing is that it's possible. It is what Bucho said. It's possible for this dude to probably win enough rounds that you can't deny him a win. Sure, they'll try to rip him off, but he could win enough rounds to give him the fight. That's a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Don,
I would bet literally my life on it.
So, Raj, can I just jump in here?
Nobody cares about your life.
The thing is, you're talking about, well, there's a possibility there's a possibility that the impossible could happen, which is William Scull doing a Dimitri Bivol paint job on Canelo, and the judges will rob him, and this will go down like the Erislandy Lara fight. It's not going to happen. Right. He is nowhere near good enough to even compete with Canelo. So I understand you're talking about the possibilities, but there's possibilities that are possible, and then there's the impossible.
Listen, you're talking in boxing. Anything can happen in boxing.
All right.
Don't use the Don't use the pigs can fly once in a lifetime sort of thing.
Yeah, we've seen it.
No,
I'm just saying, dude.
No,
Oh my god,
look,
dude.
Look,
Come on.
Look,
How many
Roberto
upsets have you
Duran
seen in the sport, dude?
Oh my god! Don't.
Come on.
He doesn't even have what it needs for one of those upsets. That's how bad
I'm
he
just
is.
saying, dude. Like a lot of people don't have
like
what
a Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas.
It's ridiculous, you guys.
Don, this what you're saying is ridiculous. You're saying, well, Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas had the physical dimensions to outbox Mike Tyson, which is what he did.
You're reading way too much into this, you guys. It's just too much.
Yeah.
Like you guys are dissecting this way too much. You guys are taking this way too personal. Like it's too much. Just move on, and you can disregard my comment and just move on to the next thing. Like you're getting way too tied up in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're obsessing over it.
It's getting to the point where it's philosophical.
No, we're just holding it.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Like you guys have to move on. Like just move on, you guys. Let it go.
There's no way, zero possibility that this can happen. Okay, well, it's unlikely.
Yeah, and then move on, and that's it. You guys are just fucking like I don't know.
Yeah, we're arguing with you, and you're arguing with us. Yeah, why don't you move on?
I'm not even arguing with you. You fucking idiot! You came on here.
Why are you responding back to us? Why are you responding? You don't even know you're arguing.
I'm trying to have a discussion, and you're here just.
Okay, we're having a discussion as well. We're on the same level then.
I was just talking about. All you had to do was disregard whatever I said, and that's it. I disregard a lot of the dumb shit you say all the time. I don't care. I don't pay attention to you.
Move on. Don't get emotional. Don't get emotional.
Why do you care what I say so much?
Don't get tied up.
Obviously, you care about what I say.
Move on.
I don't give a fuck what you say. You say a lot of dumb shit, and I don't care. I don't care to respond to you.
You're getting emotional and personal.
You're nothing to me. You're a fucking idiot.
Let it out. Let it out.
What is wrong with you that you have to respond to me? So I'm that important to you that you have to respond to me?
Because we're sitting.
Is that what you're saying? Because that's how you act.
Muppet.
That's what you're showing to everyone on the panel.
We're on a panel and
everyone listening. You care so much about my opinion. You care so much about my opinion that when I speak, you have to come on.
Don't move on.
You care about. That's what I was saying, but you obviously didn't get the memo. You didn't get the fucking memo, bro.
You haven't got your own memo.
I talk and you listen and you come on. You talk and I don't give a fuck. That's the difference between you and I. When you start talking on the panel, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bro. That's the difference between you and me. You can't stand it. You're a little guy.
Why do you sound emotional?
You can't stand it, bro.
Okay.
You just
Are you ready
can't.
to move on?
I talk.
Okay, you tell me when you're ready to move on. I'm going to sit back.
And then you listen.
You let it out, and then we'll move on when Don's ready.
That's what it is, bro. It's so important to you.
Let's move on. I don't know where we're moving.
Yeah.
On. What do you want to talk about?
I want to ask Fight Sport. How do you see the fight? How do you see the fight playing out?
Exactly what I was saying before. This nobody asked for this fight because Scull can't compete with him. So
no, but hang on. Is he going to knock him out? Is he going to
I say he's knocking him out. I think he's going to knock him out.
I'm asking Fight Sport.
Yeah. I'd say probably 9th round. I'd say probably after 8 rounds, he probably knocks him out. Unless Canelo wants to just be charitable like he was against Berlanga.
All right.
I mean, I don't think he was charitable, but yeah. See, I think Skull's got the dimensions and the ability to make it ugly and awkward.
I don't think he's around,
fight like a bitch.
I don't think he's.
I think he can do that.
Maybe fight like a bitch. He hasn't really fought like a bitch in his previous fights, but he's Cuban.
I thought he does, doesn't he? Doesn't he sort of move around?
Yeah, but he stands his ground. He does. He's not like a Erislandia Lara Rigondeaux type of Cuban.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more aggressive. But maybe he has that in him. Maybe he has that in him, and he can pull it off.
Yeah, he might do that. Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. I just hope he knocks him out. I think he can knock him out based on what I've seen, but he could surprise us. Scull could surprise us and actually have some good back foot bitching in him. Let's see. What else, guys? What else can we talk about? I mean, we talked about the 3 fights. We talked about Canelo. Yeah.
Have we talked about David yet?
About who?
Butcho.
Yeah.
Butcher, have you guys talked about Inoue next because he's fighting?
Yeah. What to say about? What do you want to say about Inoue? He's fighting some guy that apparently can crack. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
And talk to us about this fight.
Well, it's not the fight we wanted. The fight we wanted is Akhmadaliev or Nakatani, but Nakatani looks like he's not moving up yet. So this fight, it's okay. I love Inoue. Inoue's one of my favorites ever, but it's not really a good fight. Cadenas can punch, but Inoue's one of the most ferocious punchers in the sport. He's fast, he's athletic, he's quick, he knows how to counter, he's got a good boxing IQ. Like, you need technique to beat this guy, and Cadenas is just, he's stiff, he moves, he's way too hittable for Inoue. So I still think there's a higher chance of this fight being somewhat competitive than Canelo Scull because Cadenas has got decent power, and Inoue is the smaller guy moving up. Ultimately, Inoue should look like the typical monster.
All right. Well, that's what we were all expecting. He's fighting in the United States, so he's. I don't know why he's fighting in the US.
Eventing, I heard they're struggling to sell tickets.
I wouldn't be surprised.
The event's not selling too well.
Well, no shit.
What they should have done, in my opinion, they should have put him like on David Benavidez's undercard, co-main. Oh, nice promotional opportunity. They stepped too far, put him as a main event. Because Americans don't know who the fuck he is, most of them. That's the fact.
Hey, wait. Who do you think Benavidez is fighting next, or who do you want Benavidez to fight next?
The same guy said he should be fighting the entire time. Callum Smith, and then hopefully there's a decisive winner in this trilogy, and he can fight the winner of said trilogy.
Yeah, apparently he's negotiating.
He's not fighting those guys. He's not fighting those two guys.
No.
Oh, you're still running with that narrative, even though it was destroyed. He's
not fighting those guys. He's not.
Okay.
You guys know he's not fighting those guys.
He probably won't, but for the wrong reason.
Marge, if I could just say this.
They're not going to fight him.
He's not fighting those guys. You guys are delusional, both of you.
Why is he not fighting? Why is he not going to fight him? Tell us why.
He's not going to fight those guys.
Why?
His management has been moving that guy to avoid any real risk.
They sent an $8 million offer. What are you talking about?
The guy's not fighting anybody, bro. He hasn't been fighting
anybody. They sent an $8 million offer. Why are you talking about his management?
Wait, he made an offer? He made an offer of $8 million?
Yes, the PEDS.
He doesn't even have $8 million. Where the fuck is he going to get $8 million? He's going to take a loan out?
Do you live in cartoon? Do you live in cartoon?
Who had $8 million?
Wait, hold on. Was that what's his name again? What's his name? Lopez was he the one that talked that mentioned the $8 million?
It's been Eddie Hearn even confirmed it. He said they offered $8 million. So what? So everybody confirmed it. But Don Medros
but did he see it on paper though? I offer you $8 million, but is that even true? Well, that's the thing. Was there a contract that was sent?
There was nothing.
Like something like tangible.
There was nothing. There was nothing.
So just like a word of mouth. Like I'm saying, because I think Lopez is playing that he's trying to do the art of the deal.
Right.
I think we talked about it last time. Right?
The art of the deal. People are talking about.
He's talking about they offered Canelo $50 million or something.
They're offering the art of the deal.
Don,
hang on, guys, give me a second.
Go for it.
Madros is still running with the narrative. Dave has been protected. They're literally sending offers $8 million to Bill, but he's protected.
Dude, they don't have $8 million, bonehead.
I don't think they have shit.
How the fuck do you know what they have or not? They send an offer.
It's a bluff.
Who are you to decide where they have the money or not?
About?
It's a bluff.
No, what are you talking about? You're a random on Discord.
These guys are getting
dictating what the PBC have.
They're loaning their fighters out to fight because they can't pay these guys. No, come on.
You're
right.
They don't have any money.
What do you mean loaning them out?
They can't pay these guys, bro. They can't. They don't have any money to pay them. And they're offering $8 million? Are you crazy?
According to who? You? What the fuck?
Oh my god, bro. Look at how they're moving. They can't even sell
pay-per-views. Not an argument.
They can't sell pay-per-views, my friend.
What do you mean they can't sell? David sold
They can't sell
150,000.
pay-per-views.
All right,
They're selling
guys,
Why are they making
let me step in
pay-per-views?
here.
Why are they making
Let me
pay-per-views so they
step
can't
in
sell
here,
them?
guys. Somebody mentioned, of course, there's
Fucking
Bakoli fighting in the All African Affair. He's
Yeah,
fighting.
who's Bakoli fighting?
Ajagba. Efe Ajagba.
Oh, that's a good fight.
Bakoli's back in a title eliminator. That's good. But Don, I gotta say this, man. You're sticking to a narrative.
Oh boy!
Or Benavidez don't want to fight anybody.
We're going back to this again.
Whatever.
We're going back to this.
Seriously?
Seriously?
Let's go to Martin Bakoli and Ajagba. Like, this is crazy, man.
Great fight. Ajagba's limited, but he's got the dimensions to give Bakoli and a fully fit, well prepared Bakoli, not the guy who turned up last second against Joseph Parker. He's got the skill. He's got the skill, the power, and just the general ability to give Bakoli trouble. So hopefully Bakoli's recovered from that knockout, and this is going to be an exciting fight no matter who wins.
It's a great fight.
I mean, I think that Ajagba's kind of a limited fighter, though. I mean, he's very, very predictable, and he doesn't move that much. You know, he's there to get hit. So I mean, I don't know.
Don, that's
he's
all
a little
true,
robotic.
but
He's a little robotic. He's a little boring too. I think I mean, it's
true,
a good fight.
But Bakoli
both guys have power. Like, both guys have power. It's going to be a good fight. I don't know if Ajagba has the weight and the power to hurt Bakoli. That's the only thing. I don't know.
Yeah, Bakoli does have that kind of like Terminator attitude, but I think this is actually the only chance we're going to see Ajagba do anything in the division, because he's technically very limited. He's hittable and not very fast. So he's not going to beat any of the top guys in my opinion, because he's just too slow and limited. But style-wise, this is actually a good fight for him. I mean, Bakoli destroys. Bakoli just annihilates people. So I think this is honestly no bullshit. I'm going to do a video on this. This is honestly, for me, one of the most intriguing fights in the heavyweight division that we haven't seen yet. Unsure because you've got two guys who, technically limited, not very fast, slow, predictable footwork, all of that. But because they both do that, they're both powerful, and they both got really good chins, that's an exciting fight. Like, to beat Bakoli...
We're going to see a knockout for sure of some kind. Like, be either one of those two guys is going to go out for sure.
Exactly. That's what makes it intriguing. Yeah. Well, I would say Bakoli would probably beat any version of Ajagba, but Ajagba, again, the only time Ajagba's lost is to Frank Sanchez, who was just so much quicker than. But that's just because Sanchez was so much faster than him. Whereas this fight, it's really hard to say. Like, Bakoli's looked like $1 million against people who stand in front of him. If you're technically a lot better than him, that's when you beat him. Same thing with Ajagba. But none of these guys are that technical. They're both big offensive juggernauts. So that's what makes it super entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I just they're both going to be there to get hit. It's a real shame that Ajagba doesn't move more. Every time I watch him fight, I'm like, dude, you got to move a little bit more. Just you could evade so many shots, and it's not like he's a heavy guy. I just don't know what they're working on in training. Like, they just got to move on subtle head movement at least. Something else besides the 1-2 back and forth. That's very predictable, and he doesn't have too many gears. I haven't seen him kick it into high gear. I haven't seen him do. Maybe he was in survival mode with Frank Sanchez for a while until he got put out. But the guy is truly just limited, and I could see Bakoli because he's just a big fucking dude. He's not going to be able to move that fast. So. It'll be interesting. I don't think it's going to be one of the most exciting or the most. I don't consider it one of the most anticipated fights, but it should be interesting.
All right.
Well, I find this to be very intriguing. Oh, sorry, Butcher. I was just going to say I find it intriguing because we've got for all the belts, we've got Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois, a fight we've already seen. So, it's a fresh fight, so that's why I really look forward to it.
I'm sure you were disappointed that it wasn't Joseph Parker that was going to fight.
Very disappointed. I as soon as the news broke, I was on a Twitter space with my man, the mighty D Block, and I let out all of my frustrations there. Just look up D Block on Twitter, and their Twitter space is still available.
Yeah, Parker deserves that fight. Parker earned the fight with Usyk. It should be Parker next, and if it's not Parker next, and if Usyk decides to stay in the heavyweight division, it's got to be Parker next, or he's got to vacate or something, because that guy deserves the fight next. He's put in the work. He's looked great in those last fights. I just think it should be Parker next. He deserves the shot.
And not only does he deserve it, but if you're going to make the argument that he doesn't, he should fight somebody else, okay. But I just want to put this on the record, because this gets overlooked so often. And as the guy who's known as the New Zealand guy, I have to put this out there. Literally, after he beat Zhang, Zhang thought he won the fight, and he's delusional. He didn't, but hey, no problem. He had the rematch. It was Zhang's choice not to take the rematch. Parker then said he was happy to fight Filip Hrgovic. Hrgovic ended up fighting Daniel Dubois, and that 5 vs 5 card was headlined by two guys Parker had just beaten, Zhilei Zhang and Deontay Wilder. Then he called out Anthony Joshua. Joshua went on to fight Dubois. He then called out Dubois, and it was only when Joshua decided to not take the rematch that he was able to get Dubois in the ring, and then Dubois pulled out with very interesting, suspicious circumstances, in my opinion. So literally, I cannot articulate this any better than right now. There is literally nothing more Joseph Parker can do aside from order an arrest warrant forcing people to fight him. So if you want to say you want to see the rematch because Dubois is an exciting heavyweight and he's confident, whatever, fine. But I cannot stand people saying, well, Parker needs to do something else. There's literally nothing else Parker can do aside from file legal action to force people to fight him. It's crazy. Sorry, guys. Just wanted to put that out there.
You think he's that dangerous? Everybody's afraid of him?
No. Nobody's ducking him. Look.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
This is another thing. Yes. No, Butcho. Yes. This is the thing I get accused. This is the thing I get accused of. People say, "Oh, you think they're scared of Joseph Parker?" Never said anybody's scared of Joseph Parker. There's a difference between not fighting somebody because you want to fight somebody a little bit easier, being scared of him. I'm not saying that these guys. I'm not saying Usyk's ducking him. Dubois is not ducking him. Joshua's not ducking him. But my point still stands. He literally has called out everybody, and they won't fight him. So it's like, what more? There's literally nothing Joseph Parker can do.
Well, it sounds like you're saying that these guys are afraid of Joseph Parker. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that that's what you're saying. No, I'm not saying that. But that's the vibe I'm getting, from the chat and everybody.
Butcho.
Yeah.
Butcho, I'm just okay. Well, to everyone in the chat, I love you guys, but I'm just articulating these. I just gave you evidence of who he's called out. So I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, somebody had to say it.
Do you think Usyk? Sorry, do you think Parker beats every heavyweight out there?
I would favor him to beat some guys. I wouldn't favor him to beat Usyk, but Usyk's the greatest.
No, of course. Okay, excluding Usyk, do you think Joseph Parker is the favorite against all these other guys?
Yeah, I would pick him to beat Dubois.
Okay.
I would pick him to beat Dubois. I would pick him to beat this version of Joshua because Joshua is shot to pieces. Zhang, he already beat him. Caballel is the fight I want to see, and that is very interesting. I would say that's close to being a 50-50.
You would understand why some people might think that you're biased. Since you're from New Zealand, you're saying that Joseph Parker, beats everybody except Usyk. That would be a difficult fight, but still, you actually give Parker a good chance of beating Usyk, don't you?
Of course, but because I give him a good chance, I'm
so you understand what I'm saying.
biased.
So you understand. Well, I don't know. Do you think it's unreasonable to believe that?
No, it's not unreasonable to think he's got a chance against.
No. That you are biased. Well, that you are biased.
Well, okay. People want to say I'm biased. I mean, I get accused of being a lot of things, so I don't. I'm not gonna shame people who don't agree with me. But if people want to say I'm biased, I mean, how so? I'm saying I favor him to beat some of the heavyweights because of what he's shown and because of his skills as a fighter. I don't see how that's biased. But I appreciate you guys giving me the.
Do you currently have a New Zealand flag behind you?
I'm proud of my New Zealand British heritage. Yes.
Okay. Trying to make a case here. All right. Well, enough about Joseph Parker. Yeah, I wanted to see that fight as well, but unfortunately, we're not getting it. We're getting Dubois. I don't know if you caught the press conference that happened today, where what's his name again? I forgot. He's Dubois' trainer. He brought up again the low blow. The low blow. Yeah, exactly. What was your? You said that
low blow.
It was a low blow. Okay. Does anybody here on the panel think that it wasn't a low blow? Sorry, that it was a low blow. That it was a low blow. Anybody else in the chat as well? Was it or wasn't it a low blow?
And I also, while people comment there, I just need to say Don Charles is just an extremely dishonest person. So I'm not taking anything he says seriously. Sorry.
All right. Yeah, he's kind of weird, I have to say. But Paracoa said it was a legal blow. We got one.
Well, he's one of my favorite. This guy loves to troll me on every panel I go on. So I'm. He can have his moment, but well, the punch. If you look at where the punch landed, it was below the belt. Not Andrew Galotta below the belt, but it was a low blow. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slowed it down a couple of times and I saw that it was definitely a low blow.
Nightmare says it was low. You know, we should have a special episode where we only focus on the low blow, and we'll play the replay, obviously slow motion. I think it was.
Can I
Yeah. Go ahead.
Butcher.
No.
You asked me earlier if I have a New Zealand flag behind me.
Yes.
The answer is no. I don't fly the flag in my spare time. It's just not really who I am. But am I proud of my British people? Absolutely. So yes, there is some personal. I want to see Parker do well because I mentioned this before. I had a personal interaction with him once, and he could not have been a more pleasant human being. So from a human perspective, I want to see him do well. Plus, again, I'm proud of my people. But at the same,
you're beyond New Zealand. You go to God Save the King, right?
Well, I've got British heritage.
Yeah,
we're getting a little bit too
monarchy. Yeah, God save. Don't be shy. You know, say it loud and proud. Loud and proud.
Well,
God save the king.
I'm not really God. No, I'm not. I'm not God save the king. I'm not.
God.
But personally, again, no, I'm not. I'm just saying. You asked me, do I have a New Zealand flag behind me? The answer is no. But again, I'm proud of my people. And Joseph Parker he's from my country, so but also I had a personal interaction with him about 10 years ago, and ever since then I've wanted to see him do well. So yes, there is a bit of proud patriotism, you could say there.
Fucking England.
I'm being honest, because again, you asked me, am I being biased? It's like I don't think I am, but do I want to see him do well for personal reasons and because again, I'm proud of my people? Absolutely.
Absolutely, you should be proud.
Yeah.
So you support all these British boxers as well, right?
No. Oh, well, some I support them if they're good. Is what it is. Yeah.
I was trying to buy time because I was gonna play the British national anthem. I couldn't find it. What else? We have recognized. We have Gonzalo who's back. Let's continue this discussion about. Well, let's go the predictions. So Gonzalo gave us his predictions. Let's take a look at his predictions again. Let's see. Gonzalo said Ryan Garcia will win in the second round. Barboza by split decision. Haney by controversy. So round 2 though. Ryan Garcia in round 2. Guys,
it's very possible. If you look at Ryan Garcia's record on CompuBox, not CompuBox, sorry, the BoxRec, because I've done it in the past. It's not like I did it now. If you go back and look at his knockouts, they're usually in the second round. First, second round, some in the fourth, like in third and stuff, but mostly like in the second.
It's possible.
The dude's not good, man. Pitbull Cruz didn't knock him out earlier. He put hands on him because he's just doesn't hit as hard as Ryan. I mean, don't get me wrong, he hits hard, but he's just that much smaller. Ryan Garcia's gonna put one of them hooks, and that's gonna be good night. Well, with that being said, I think the other two fights are more entertaining because of that. But hopefully Ramirez. A lot of people are saying he's coming in shape. He looks cut in the weigh-in. I've been speaking to Birria offline about it. Like, is the dude shot? Maybe, maybe not. But at least he's got heart. I know that, and he's not a big puncher. Yes, he's gonna be bigger in there size-wise. But then again, let's see.
What's gonna be Haney's approach for this fight?
It should be to box on the outside, like against Ryan Garcia. He spent way too much time trying to fight the guy toe to toe, and if he outboxes, if he gets back to what he's good at and outboxes Ramirez, then I don't think Ramirez is going to win more than 3 rounds in this fight.
Really?
The only question I have, because I mean Ramirez, he's the type of guy you want to pick to make Devin Haney look good. He's flat-footed. He's not particularly fast. He doesn't have good defense. He telegraphs his shots. He doesn't set them up. So you do that, you'd get outboxed by a guy like Haney.
Right.
The only question I have,
but a good Ramirez, like the version that showed up.
Sorry, if I could just Butcho. Sorry I understand you want Ramirez to win. So sorry for sounding like
No. I already said I want Haney to win. Well, I mean, my heart wants Ramirez to win, but for the sake of boxing, for the good of boxing, I want Haney to win.
So I'll just comment. Okay, so I'll just comment on what I think Ramirez's chances are. Haney does fade as fights go on. Now, maybe that was due to the weight cut or whatever, but he's been out of the ring for over a year. So, and the last time he was there, he had a pretty terrible experience. So there's the possibility, and because Ramirez is tough, if he's there for 12 rounds, which he will be, he may have a chance to try and catch him like Jorge Linares did. I mean, even Jojo Diaz laid way more hands on Haney than he should have. So because he's going to be there for 12 rounds, and Haney does have these defensive lapses at times, there's an opportunity. There will be an opportunity. So that's why this fight is somewhat intriguing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but you're making it seem like Ramirez is a horrible fighter. Like if we get a good Ramirez, like the version that showed up against what's that guy? The black tall dude, the skinny guy, Hooker.
Maurice Hooker?
No, not Maurice Hooker. That's an old school.
Maurice Hooker.
What's his name? No, the black dude, tall length. Yeah, if we get that version and then knock that dude out, I mean, Ramirez is dangerous. Yeah, you could say what you want that he's kind of shot, but dude, the dude has a real good lead active hand. Like the hooks, the lead left hook. He also got a good left hook, like the Ryan Garcia. Not as good, but I mean, he's got an active lead hand.
He's not shit. That's what Gonzalo's saying. Don't count out Ramirez. Still a live dog.
I'm not saying that. I never said that Ramirez is not a good fighter. Styles make fights. That's all I'm saying.
No, you said he sucked. He has no chance.
No. I mean,
okay, so
come on.
You wouldn't be surprised. So you wouldn't be surprised if Ramirez pulls it off, or would you be surprised? Would you be like, oh shit, you know?
I wouldn't be oh shit, but I would be surprised because of Styles. But Ramirez is good. I'm just saying, style wise, I don't expect him to give Haney too much trouble.
All right.
But this isn't me saying that he's not a good fighter.
So you think Haney's such a great fighter that he shouldn't have any problems with Ramirez? That's what you're saying.
Because
that's
again,
what it sounds like.
No, well, I'm saying this more from a styles perspective. I mean, I've got reservations about Haney, but he does. I mean, he did a paint job on Regis Prograis, who's a very good fighter. So, and that's not because Prograis is bad. It's because Prograis is slowish and flat-footed at times. So it's more from that perspective. Like, don't worry, I'm going to give Ramirez credit, win or lose.
Okay, wait, hold on. So who would you favor in a rematch between Haney and Ryan Garcia?
Hard to say because we don't know.
So it sounds like you're a Haney fan. I don't know. People are saying you're a Haney fan.
Really?
Well, I mean, the way you're talking about Devin Haney, and then I ask you about who do you have in the rematch, and you're like, like.
Well, I'm saying that because we don't know how much of Garcia's performance was down to PEDs. So if he's clean this time, yeah, I.
Okay.
Well, I'm just asking questions. I'm not. I don't know who.
Like
what do you mean? I'm not.
You're making assumptions. You said you're asking questions, but you're answering your own questions at the same time. You know, like you're. That's what it sounds like. You know, like you already made your choice here. Haney is a superior fighter. Yeah, go ahead.
Interrogation time.
Yeah, I'm saying he beats Ramirez because styles make fights. Again, I use the Prograis example. Regis Prograis, very good fighter, but I mean, Haney was so much bigger than him. It was crazy, and Prograis was older and slower.
Hey, recognize who was that? Who was that?
Hold on. Can I answer?
Okay, wrap it up, and then Gonzalo, go ahead.
All right, so I'm just saying, styles make fights because Ramirez is slowish and flat-footed-ish. That's what Haney typically does well against. Garcia is a tougher matchup, but to an extent, PEDs did play a factor in the fight. So
okay. Let's stop. See, this is where you're gonna get people disagreeing with you. Fight sport. Yeah. Let's get recognizing here. Recognize how much of that win, or the Ryan Garcia win, had to do with PEDs or actual skills.
0.
I don't know.
Let him talk. Let recognize go in.
Hold on.
No. You hold on. You already spoke. You already spoke like 5 minutes.
I did not interrupt you. So let me speak.
But you asked me a question. I got
No. He was asked to recognize. Sorry, Fight.
I think it had nothing to do with PEDs. Nothing at all. Now, personally, I did research, and Osterine is shit, right? Second of all, I don't even know if that was put there by somebody else or Ryan Garcia really took something that was contaminated with Osterine. Anyway, that's my opinion. Second of all, Haney is a bad fighter. Okay, he's before the Garcia fight. Go look at all his fights. What's his kryptonite? The left hand. Go watch it. Jojo Diaz did it to him. I want to say Linares after he was thoroughly outboxing Linares for like the first 8 rounds. He gets clipped in the 9th round with a left hand, and he's doing, he has horrible recovery timing. Was that PEDs too? What I'm saying? Was Linares on PEDs? Was Jojo Diaz on PEDs? Was Jojo Diaz on PEDs? That the left hands were there to basically Haney was there to be hit by the left hand all day, and then he fights Ryan Garcia, who's
By the way, I did a video on that. He got saved by the ref.
When he gets
I did a video on that.
Stiff, when he goes stiff and he's trying to get up, that's automatic. You're counted out. That's it. You lost the fight. When you get stiff trying to get up, that's a knockout. You lost. Okay, so he been lost that fight by knockout in the 7th round. Garcia. This is what I say.
Yeah.
Unless Haney proves something that's different about him, or Garcia is just a total fuck up, Garcia's gonna knock this dude out.
Yeah, well, Garcia.
Can I respond to that?
No,
Can I respond to that? Because
I just want to say something real quick. The Ramirez got a good lead hand. Oh, you were right, Bucho. And Maurice Hooker. I was thinking Maurice Blocker, the old school fighter. No, but you're right. If he turns out to give us a good performance like that, hey, who knows, man? He's got heart. Hopefully, he's not totally shot. But then there's questions about Haney too. Is Haney fucking shook?
Right.
Anyway, so go ahead, guys.
Go ahead.
Right.
Okay, Matrix. You said a lot there. Now, I want to. Okay, people can call me whatever they want, but to say that I'm a Devin Haney fanboy, that is literally absurd. I've never said anything that would mean that I'm a Devin Haney fanboy. I'm just giving credit where credit's due. Like, the guy's got good defensive skills. Now, he didn't look so great against Garcia. I'm not even saying that Garcia only won because it was on PEDs, but for me, it's a bit crazy to say that PEDs played no factor in that performance. Now, I did videos right after the fight that Devin Haney should have performed better, but PEDs, again, would have played a factor, which is why, Butcher, you asked me who wins the rematch right now. I don't know. I want to see what Garcia looks like if he's clean, and a big if, because I don't trust the guy whatsoever. But we also need to see if Devin's met his limit. I mean, I don't think Devin is as good as some people say, but I also don't want to act like the guy's got no skills. So I always look at the nuance of the situation, and yet for some reason it leads to people like you saying I'm a Devin Haney fan. I'm defending everything he does. Like, nothing could be.
I didn't say that you.
Butcho, okay, well, Butcho seems to think I am. Garcia,
you're a big
Garcia
Haney
was
fan. I think you have a tattoo of Devin Haney on your
what?
right.
Are you kidding me?
No, but seriously, okay, about the PEDs though. So you believe that the PEDs were a factor. So
of course they were they played some factor. I mean, they're called performance enhancing drugs for a reason. Like, are we gonna pretend? Like, I want to quote Daniel Cormier here. Are we pretending?
I don't know.
We
should get somebody that knows about what that drug does, the Ostarine thing. Was it Ostarine? And the amounts that were found in his system, was that enough to actually change the outcome of the fight? Like the left hooks.
We don't
the
know.
left hooks, you know. Like Devin Haney wasn't blocking that. Devin Haney wasn't blocking that shit. I don't know. Was that because of the Ostarine?
Right. Did the Ostarine make him faster? First of all, let's do some. If we're going to speak about facts, right? Let's break it down. The New York State Athletic Commission only suspended Ryan Garcia because he didn't disclose what he took, not the Ostarine that was contaminated. Because VADA determined. This is under VADA. They determined that the supplement that he took was contaminated with Ostarine. So therefore, that means that he didn't take it intentionally. The New York State Athletic Commission steps in. Hold on, let me finish. The New York State Athletic Commission steps in because even though he disclosed it to VADA, he did not disclose it to the New York State Athletic Commission. So on a technicality, even though the New York State Athletic Commission reads
VADA's reports, obviously, but they were looking for a reason, so that was their reason, and therefore they suspended him for that. That is factually speaking.
Well, that's we're not. I'm not defending the New York Commission here. Like the Commission messed up. They should have, in my opinion, they should have suspended Garcia for longer because he did fail a test, and they should have said. I mean, he claimed that it was a contaminated supplement, and yet he failed to prove that. And I don't have sympathy for a multi-millionaire who acts like a petulant child, saying, "Oh, this was a witch hunt from the start. Somebody spiked my substances." I mean, he had a company. I did a video on this. He had a company. Get the name of it. They were threatening to sue Garcia when he said that their supplements may have been the ones that were tainted. The company threatened to sue him. So, to me, there is no evidence that Garcia's supplements were tainted. And anytime somebody fails a drug test, I do not believe for a second, especially if they act the way he did. I don't think it's the first time they used. I don't think it's the first time Canelo used clenbuterol. I don't think it's the first time Conor Ben used clomiphene. So,
you know where I avoid all that? The fact that Devin Haney works with a known PED dealer who brags about giving you PEDs that you cannot test for. That's his bread and butter. That's how he makes his money. Right? So to me, it doesn't matter.
Process, yeah.
It doesn't
making
matter.
a video.
Even if he did it intentionally or by accident, that wouldn't matter because, in my opinion, the only reason you would be working with a guy who was, it's like, you know, an ex-drug dealer. Why would you be hooked up with an ex-drug dealer? Because you're one too.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fair. I mean, I want to do more research, and I'm trying to get on more radio shows before I do in-depth videos on Victor Conte's involvement, because some of the things that people are saying are pretty crazy.
So without the PEDs, what happens? The rematch, how does it play out without the PEDs?
Without PEDs, at the moment, I probably, you're literally asking me to see into the future, so I don't know.
You don't want to say anything?
Both of them without PEDs, it's pretty much.
All right, I can say this. Garcia, with it, certainly, okay, let's say he was on, let's say the PEDs played a factor, which I definitely think they did. Let's say they played a decent factor, and he's not on them, then he is going to be so hittable, it's crazy.
Okay, so you think that these PEDs made him like added speed to Garcia's, like, so Garcia became faster and he hit harder because of Osterine. I think Osterine is to lose weight. That's what I heard. I don't know shit about it.
Osterine is to lose weight. Number two, Garcia did get hit in that fight. It's just that it didn't look. It is what it is. Rolly said it a long time ago. Devin Haney just has bad genetics when it comes to boxing. Okay, where boxing is concerned, he doesn't have no power. His legs, like his calves and everything, they're weak. And that's why he recovers bad. Nobody would criticize him for getting constantly hit with everybody's left if he didn't react bad to it every single time, right? Even little Jojo Diaz made him stop. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not, his recovery, and you put him in next to Jojo, he's way bigger than him. He towers over him. He has way more size than him. Everything,
You're too small. You're too small.
Yeah, they're too small. I mean, he says
small.
it, right? And and in my opinion, just like it has to be anybody else's opinion, that if Ryan Garcia is on something, so is Devin Haney. And I would say Devin Haney is more likely intentionally on something.
Can I say something about your too small comments from Devin Haney, which he has made several times? He said that when he fought Lomachenko, he told him to his face, "You're too small," and also when he fought Kambosos, "You're too small." So here's the thing, though: when you keep telling yourself that you have an advantage because you're bigger, what happens when you fight somebody that's the same size as you or bigger? Is that gonna play a factor in the way you approach the fight, in your mentality? Oh shit, you're not small.
Look, in my opinion, that fight should have been stopped in the 7th round. That was a knockout. As soon as he got hit with a good shot, it was over. The fight was over. He got knocked out. Okay? So that's how I look at it. Everybody could look at the fight for what it is. Fine. You know, we all have our own opinion. I've said it for a long time, Bucho. You know this. I've been saying it. That is the most overrated fight I've seen in a long time. Talking about Devin Haney. Okay? Yeah. I've always said that.
That is an interesting point. Now, I wouldn't actually disagree because I certainly don't see in Devin Haney what a lot of other people see. But in terms of him being maybe the most overrated fighter of this generation, I mean, the guy's got plenty of years left in his career, so I think that's a little premature.
It could be premature, but it could be premature. Yeah. But what I'm talking about is the like this. If you really look at it, there's probably somebody more of a hype job than him. But in terms, what I'm talking about is the kind of media coverage in terms of boxing that he's getting, and actually who he is. In my opinion, I've always thought he was one of the biggest hype jobs in boxing. You know, I'd rather watch him over Shakur any day, any single day, right? But Shakur is actually a more skilled fighter than he is.
And that's a fair point. Butcho, you asked me how I would see the rematch going.
Oh, you want to answer?
At the moment, I tried answering earlier. It's hard to be definite about it.
Yeah.
I think right now, people are going to go crazy over that.
Oh boy.
At the moment, I would say I would favor Haney to win on points. But if he gets caught again, then it's probably
based on what? Because we haven't seen Haney fight since that loss, right? So, or Garcia.
Yeah. Well, I'm basing it on Haney fighting smarter this time, and not being so open. Yeah, not being so open. But I just talked earlier about how his technique is questionable a bit, and I agree with what Matrix is saying about based on the amount of hype that's been behind him. Right now, he hasn't really justified it. So we'll see. My only questions, and I think this is where we disagree, is that PEDs played no factor in that first fight. I think they did play a factor.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how much.
I'm gonna just continue to say, if Ryan Garcia took it intentionally, right? To me, it's like bringing a gun to a gunfight, because I'm sure he knows that Victor Conti is supplying this kid with all the best stuff. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my gun too. So my gun is better. You know, me with a gun is better than you with a gun, type of thing.
By the way, I'd like to know, Fight Sports Talk, which fights from Devin Haney have impressed you? Which performances?
Well, obviously the Regis Prograis won, the Kambosos wins because they were one-sided.
Yeah.
And even though I thought Lomachenko beat him fairly clearly, I will say his character impressed me, because I thought he was going to get killed in that 12th round, and the guy showed heart. So, as far as the fights that have impressed me, I'd say since he stepped up, maybe half of them have impressed me. Which means, you know, I have similar hopes for him that I have for all the other big names. And like I talked earlier about how Teofimo Lopez, I had huge hopes for him, and just more and more the guy's disappointing. Devin we'll see. I think his mind might be a bit better, but you know, will he justify the hype? We'll see.
All right. All right. Well, what else? Let's move on. Too much Haney. People are getting bored with Haney here. Let's talk about. Okay, we have Dirk. Dirk, what's up? What do you think about the fights that are coming up? Any upsets?
I think the closest fight is Tio and Barboza. But the rest of them, I don't see any upsets. Unless Ryan gets caught with some crazy which is possible, but other than that, everybody should win.
Okay.
Or the favorites.
Recognize. Did you give us your predictions? I don't think so. Oh, he's muted. Well, Dirk, you didn't give us your predictions, so time to write them down.
I would.
Oh, okay.
If you want Dirk to give him first, I'll let him do it.
All right.
I got Haney decision. I got T.O. decision and Ryan by knockout.
I'm gonna
stop copying me.
I'm gonna agree with Dirk on that one, except that I'm gonna add a little bit of details. I think that T.O. will beat Barboza in a close decision. I think it's gonna be one of those 6-6, maybe 7-5 T.O., a knockdown. And, Barboza finishes the fight. That's what I think is going to happen. Mm-hmm. With the Devin Haney fight, I think Devin Haney and Ramirez is going to go similar to Linares, but the rounds that Ramirez win, I get the feeling he's going to shake up Haney. So, in other words, if he wins 4 rounds, those 4 rounds are going to be devastating rounds. Because this dude, I do not believe, is mentally back. In other words, he could front all he wants. He's undefeated, but he knows what happened to him in the ring.
But it was the PEDS.
Right, he could say
No.
Yeah, that's what you said. Fight sports, you can't take it back.
Butcho, but come on, I love you, man, but come on. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say it was all PEDs. I said they played
50%.
There's a big difference.
50%.
I did not 40%. Say
what's the percentage? What's the percentage?
I don't know. 20, 30%,
okay.
Maybe 40. I don't know. But
25.5.
I know I am the greatest. I am the greatest YouTube channel in existence, but I'm not a psychic. So
check out Fight Sports Talk. By the way,
calm down, Russell Pro.
Yeah.
I would just say what you guys just said about again the fights. Haney's got a lot more to prove about how good his defensive skills are, because he's not. If you're built up to be, we don't even need to talk about his dad saying that this is the Devin Haney era, blah blah blah. Pretty much first fight just happened, and in terms of I don't think I'm just young fighter being passionate or dad being passionate about his son, but did interview with Rick Blazer when Devin was trying to get the fight overturned for DQ win. When James Tony felt and Angelo against John Ruiz, his fight was overturned with no contest, not a win. So again, I don't think we're going to being passionate. If they continue, they go the way of TFB my Lopez and his bag close, then the losers are something else.
You're backtracking now. That's good. You're backtracking. Go ahead.
I'm not back.
Put up James Tony and John Ruiz, because everybody knows, no matter what they found, James Tony would have beat John Ruiz 10 out of 10 times.
No. I said John Ruiz. I was on a show and they asked for my top 10 worst champions ever. I said John Ruiz was one of them. No, I'm not saying that the PEDs are the reason James Tony won. I'm just saying the loss was overturned with no contest, not a DQ win for Ruiz.
I mean, practically speaking, yes. But like everybody can come to a conclusion and go look at that fight and go see how pretty much one-sided that fight was. And the same thing applies with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. The reason why Devin Haney lost is because he couldn't stop that left for the life of him. And no amount of ostering is going to make you throw a punch faster than you throw it. All right? It's just that he can't block it. And the reason why I say that is because go look at his fights where he did get in trouble with Jojo Diaz, Linares. I'm missing somebody, but those are the ones that stand out. Lomachenko. They caught him with the left pretty easy. Okay, and he has this stupid look on his face every time he gets caught with that left. It's just that with Ryan Garcia, when you face a man with another, pause before I say this, with the same dimensions, or maybe bigger than you, okay, it's just a different ball game, right? Ryan Garcia could look at him eye to eye, and he can never call Ryan Garcia small, because if he says you're too small, Ryan Garcia is going to be like, are you stupid or something, bro? What are you seeing?
Well, Matrix, I'm really glad you brought that up, because people can, again, if I could just plug my channel again, I did a video well before this test came out, asking the question, did this prove that Devin's has only been successful because he's bigger than everyone? I brought up Lomachenko, again, no one's a bigger fan of Loma than me, but he was a tiny guy next to Devin. So, yeah, maybe my skepticism about Garcia being clean or not, maybe Butcher, I did not backtrack. I love the way you keep throwing these subtle digs in. It's very, very sneaky. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Very, very, very astute of you, my good man. But that's the British of me, by the way. But maybe my skepticism will be proven wrong, and maybe Devin would have always lost to him, Garcia, no matter what he would or would not have been on. Maybe we'll see. But Devin is definitely, when Devin was built to be the next Floyd Mayweather, that was even, I remember Bill being actually a pretty quiet guy when Devin was like 20 or 21 in the Mayweather gym, and he was built to be Mayweather's, like the future Mayweather. He's proven so far to not be that guy, like not even close. Defensively, he's nothing like Floyd or Pernell Whitaker or Sugar Ray Leonard back in the day. So he's got a lot to prove.
The difference was that Floyd was actually a pound-for-pound fighter. So when he was fighting in his heyday, there are people he fought that were actually bigger than him, and he beat them, obviously. Where this guy has never beaten anybody next to his size. Bro, you can say what you want. He lost to Loma. Okay? He lost.
I agree.
Okay?
I thought Loma clearly won.
He got the decision, but there is no doubt in my mind. As small as Lomachenko is, if Lomachenko was anywhere close to his heyday, like going into the Teofimo fight, Devin Haney doesn't finish the fight. He does not finish.
That's a good point.
I agree with that.
I agree with you, but I agree. I think based on how an older Loma dealt with Haney, I think most people would agree.
Think about how
Devin's
small.
fortunate.
Fight sport. Think about how small Lomachenko is. Now there is
no. Matrix.
There's nobody in the history.
Matrix. Let him talk, man. Let Recognize talk.
Matrix.
Let me just say this. There's
No.
nobody in the
Matrix. Matrix. Matrix.
My goodness gracious! All right, I'm gonna have to mute
Matrix.
your
If you've heard
ass.
what
I just wanted to finish this point about the manufacturing comparison, right? There is nobody, as much as I don't, I'm not a fan of Floyd's rhetoric. There's nobody I could think of that was actually smaller than Floyd that I said in his prime would have fucking beat the dog shit out of Floyd. I can't even think of nobody. With Devin Haney, I can actually think of someone, and that's the guy that he arguably lost to in his older age, who's smaller than him, and that's Lomachenko.
Recognize, I got one Pacquiao. Pacquiao's smaller than Mayweather.
Right, but I wouldn't say that Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime against Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime would definitely stop him or beat him up. Like with Devin Haney, I could see that. I can. To me, he should have been stopped against Ryan Garcia. That's a stoppage. Go look at that knockdown.
Yeah, and another thing recognizes is that the ref in one of the rounds didn't count 2 additional knockdowns. When David Haney got hit, he hugged Ryan Garcia and he fell.
Yeah, you're too busy pushing Ryan Garcia.
I counted 5 knockdowns in that fight.
When
real quick.
Tell me, hold on, let Recognize finish, guys. Jesus Christ!
If he was a neutral observer, it's called just a neutral observer. when he saw him trying to get up stiff mode, right? When he goes stiff for like 2 seconds and then continues to go to get back up, he could have stopped it right there. He could have said, "Bro, that's you're out. You're basically out."
Mm-hmm. We've seen those stoppages many times.
Yeah,
but Matrix, Matrix, you were just repeating what I had said earlier. Why Loma is like one of my favorite fighters of all time. Like, just cause, I mean, we don't know. Maybe Devin was only success. I mean, he was bigger than Regis Prograde, like 10 times. He was so much bigger than him. So maybe he is just successful because he's big. Guys like Floyd, like Roberto Duran back in the day, like Ray Leonard, these guys were able to overcome. I mean, these guys, you can't compare any of these modern day fighters in these divisions. You can compare Usyk to those guys, but Usyk's a different, whole nother level. So yeah, that's one of the problems when it comes to Tio and Devin saying these guys 4 kings. We don't know if they're on the level of 4 kings. So because you mentioned earlier about him being maybe the most overhyped fighter you've ever seen. If people continue to hold on to him being the next Floyd Mayweather, I agree, because
wait a minute.
He's not that guy.
I got to jump in, bro. Y'all exaggerate with the people that were saying he's the next Floyd Mayweather, bro. That's only his fans, and that's a small contingent anyways. And even a lot of his fans wouldn't even say some stupid shit like that. He's nothing like Floyd. The only thing they have in common is skin color, and even that's Floyd's darker. So I don't understand this comparison.
He's racist. Yo, Floyd's darker.
I'm just saying, bro, like, there's nothing. Him and Floyd are nothing alike. There's even the styles are different.
Who's darker? Dirk. Remind me of that.
It's a disrespectful comparison, bro. It's like comparing Michael Jordan to Harold Miner or some shit like that, bro. Like, get out of here with that.
Oh, well, no. He was training with Mayweather for a while, and they come out of his mouth.
A lot of fighters train Floyd. I mean, like, that don't mean you're Floyd.
Are you saying that because he lost?
No, I've never been a Haney fan, and you know that, Bucho. You talked to me plenty of times.
No, he's a
I've never been.
I don't remember.
I like Shakur. And look, Haney. I knew Haney wasn't.
You like Shakur?
Haney. When Haney fought Jojo Diaz is a southpaw, and he took Haney's jab away. Yeah, he did hurt. He buzzed him a couple times. So I saw Jojo Diaz was able to take the jab away. I was like, if a guy like Jojo Diaz can take your jab away, what are you going to do against a southpaw like Loma or a Tank Davis? They're going to knock you out. Loma almost did, but he's a smaller guy. But still, I knew that would be a tough fight. So yeah, I don't see what the not even it's not even close.
Hey, Rare Breed, do you think that Haney fights are a little more entertaining than Shakur fights? Don't lie, come on.
No, when Shakur decides to when Shakur actually decides to put his punches together and fight, he's more entertaining because he's a more skilled fighter than Devin Haney.
You're doubling down on this guy, man. Come on, seriously.
Yeah, man. And also, by the way, as far as I'm going to defend Devin Haney here. You can be defensive like Shakur and not come to fight, and people are going to hate on you. Or you can do what Devin did, which is ignore it being defensive and try to fight a power puncher like Ryan Garcia and get knocked the fuck out, and people are still going to rake you over the coals.
Yeah,
so really,
Ryan Garcia is not considered a high-level fighter. No one ever praised Ryan Garcia for being...
Well, not according to his fans, because...
Hold on.
He can beat 47, so that's not true.
Time out. Hold on. Let me finish. No one ever considered Ryan Garcia to beat the second coming of any natural next level talent, generational talent. Everyone was hyping Haney as the next. No, hold on. You may not have, but a lot of people were, and nobody had Ryan in that fight. Nobody. None of the pundits. None of the guys on any of these shows like Teddy Atlas or any of these fucking numbskulls.
So you didn't hear any comparison to
chance because everyone was praising Haney as the second coming of Floyd or whatever.
Everybody, bro. Who are these people? Name them. Who are these people?
Paulie Malignaggi, fucking Teddy
not
Atlas,
true.
fucking.
That is not true.
Yeah,
No,
who
that's
else
I
was
gotta,
there?
I gotta back up. I gotta back up Don here. I gotta, Don. I gave you a hard time.
Paulie literally
Don,
said
Steve
Devin reminds
Kim.
me of me.
Hold on, Steve
I gotta back
Kim.
up.
You name the pundits. Name all the boxing talking heads.
I gotta back up what Don said.
Hold up, my friend. Paulie literally said that Devin actually reminds me of me, as in Paulie Malignaggi. And that's actually kind of a good comparison. Devin is a black Malignaggi.
Let's go down the list of pundits that are on TV. Max Kellerman. Who else is there? Andre Ward. Timothy Bradley. Sean Porter. All the guys on the Porter Wake podcast.
Do you have?
I can go on, and we can.
Okay, hold on, Dirk. You don't remember people saying that this guy was great, like a great boxer? Maybe not Floyd or whatever. I think they did. I'm pretty sure somebody compared him to Floyd. I'm pretty sure, but I can't remember the specific moments and names, whatever. But they were hyping this guy up by a lot.
Thank you.
And I don't want to get into this, but you got into it. Skin color. That might have something to do with it.
Oh, let's not. Look,
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Hey, Dirk brought it up. Dirk brought it up. I don't know, somebody. So, yeah, that could have been a factor.
Yo, he says Shakur is the most entertaining fighter. I guarantee you, he'll never pay a ticket to see Shakur, and he'll never buy a pay-per-view. I can guarantee that.
100%.
Number two, this guy fights sports. I didn't know they fucking liked the boxing in New Zealand. I thought you out there, what's that?
Rugby.
Rugby. I thought you people did rugby. Go fucking shouldn't you be singing the that haka bullshit?
Yeah.
What the hell? What the hell's your problem? Like,
my bad, bro.
I don't think he knows who Allstuck is.
Yo, you can't take a joke. Your pussy hurts or what?
All right.
I've actually heard more people compare Floyd to Shakur.
I want to hear you sing this the haka thing.
Okay, no, he's not doing the haka thing. What
the is not my thing.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Thing.
That's your thing.
Is not my thing.
I thought you were a proud New Zealander. Come on.
Are you faking?
Yeah, I'm European. I'm European, born in New Zealand. Like, the haka is not my thing. It's not my culture. So you're asking me to do something which I'm not about, because again, it's not my culture.
Why do you hate? Why do you hate the natives? Tell us.
Yeah, why do you hate the natives? Why do you hate the natives?
You fucking what the absolute fuck is? Oh my god!
All right, man. You guys have no sense of humor.
Hold on. Is it true? Is it true? I always hear Australians beat you up. Is that true?
I don't think he. Okay, I don't think he's getting the jokes. Okay, stop. He's not getting the jokes. So let's move on. Let's go. But Dirk wanted to say something. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes.
I've seen more people compare Shakur to Floyd than Devin. In terms of defensive style, but none of those guys are like Floyd, because Floyd was a complete fighter, or more of a complete fighter, especially when he was at 135.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there was no comparison between Floyd and Devin, but that's what some
people did it.
But that's what's
some
people.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Some people did build him up to be that way, so that is why the criticism.
It was a lazy comparison, because one, Devin started the comparisons, and then two, he's a defensive style boxer, and he's quote unquote slick black fighter. So they're going to make the lazy comparison of Floyd. So that's what people do.
Fair point. And and also a message to, I can't even pronounce this guy's name, Metabolics. Sometimes the Wallabies beat us all Blacks. Sometimes the All Blacks win. So it is a fun rivalry we got. I got no issues with you. I don't know if you got issues with me, but
I like watching when I see the highlights. I like watching the little haka dance. I just want to hear it.
Well, again, come on.
I don't think it's more. I think it's less of an. It's more of a visual thing rather than not like sound. Because they stick their tongue out and shit.
I'm thinking of New Zealand, right? What are the athletes? I can't really. There's nobody that comes to mind.
Joseph Parker.
Oh, Joseph Parker.
He's big on Joseph Parker. He's the best heavyweight.
Yeah, it's not even that I'm big on Joseph Parker. I mean,
why can't you just? No, but you said he beats all heavyweights except Usyk, and Usyk he might have a chance, but you said that. Don't be shy.
But
be proud.
Hold on.
Be proud.
There's context that I am. Yeah, I am proud, but there's context to that. I'm not saying because he's New Zealander. I'm saying there's reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean,
maybe
in the past you said you're a little bit biased. You say I'm a little bit biased, so there's a little bit of bias, which is fine. It's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Again, to metabolics, there. I mean, we've had some great athletes in rugby over here, but because it's a team sport,
why are you bothering answering his question? Like seriously, you're just falling for the.
I'm just because if I was from New Zealand, I would just say I'm Australian. I'd go Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
All right. Let's move on. This is getting. What the fuck is this? What is going on? All right. Let's let's move on.
Devin, yeah. I don't know. We're still talking about Devin.
No, we're not. Let's move on. Can we talk about somebody else?
Okay.
Fuck Devin. Devin got a pussy neck.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Ryan Garcia. Nobody's talking. Everybody's speaking Ryan Garcia. Oh yeah, Barbosa. That's like a pirate.
Barbosa is technically good in all areas, but he's slow, he's hittable, he's predictable, so Theo should win. But if there would be an upset, this is maybe the one fight where I would say there's probably a 40% chance of an upset.
Yeah, but this is the style that makes Teofimo look like shit. A guy that's like B-Day mentioned, a guy that's patient, too patient, that's willing to make it boring and, kind of like go in there and try to land on you and beat you to the punch and kind of like go back to like not exchanging and win on points. That's a bad style for Teofimo. That's why for me that's a 50-50 fight. You never know what Teofimo you're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
Never know.
I brought up this example before because this was 2 fights before the Lomachenko fight. Teo fought Nakatani, and he did not look good in that fight. He was getting picked apart repeatedly. Like Nakatani could not miss with the right hand. And Nakatani is also very. Teofimo was getting picked. What?
Dude, Bucho, guess what, man? And I was really freaking surprised because I do my homework even though I'm busy. I fucking do my homework, and I was surprised about this. Teofimo Lopez record, dude, he's 21 fights with 13 knockouts. All of a sudden, he's not a puncher anymore. And I looked it up on BoxRec last night. His knockout percentage is 60% now. He hasn't knocked out an opponent like in 5 or 6 fights. That fucking KO ratio went way down now.
Wait, you're talking about
21 fights with 13 KO. No, I'm talking about Teofimo Lopez.
Ah, Lopez.
Dude, I was surprised. Because I rewatched one of the guys.
Wait a minute.
Gons.
You're right.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say
21 fights with 13 KOs, dude.
Gons.
He's 60% KO ratio now.
Okay, you made your point. That's normal. When you move up in weight, you're not the puncher you were in the life.
Lies.
Unless.
What? No, what I'm basically saying.
Unless, yes, I think you were gonna say what I was gonna say. Unless you're a special fighter, but this guy apparently is not.
Well, it's not that he doesn't have the punching power. It's a lot of times he's just swinging for the fences, and he's missing.
Oh God, I'm not. Butcho, what lies did I tell? I just said normally guys don't punch the same when they move up divisions. That's all.
But the thing with Teofimo Lopez is that he was fighting in some people call him a weight bully at 135. He moves up one division, and you say, well, he's naturally a 140, and all of a sudden, the power's gone. One weight division, one.
Yeah.
I didn't say no. I didn't say. Hold on, Butcher. I didn't say the powers. I didn't say he's got no power. I just said he's not the same puncher he was at life.
Well, you said usually when they move up in weight, which I agree. Everybody agrees. It's just logical, right? You're moving up in weight.
Oh, so you agree with me? You agree with me?
I don't agree when it comes to Teofimo Lopez that you can't apply that rule. Like, oh, he's moving up in weight. That guy.
Dude, you're turning into Mirage, bro. Come on, take it easy.
Yes. Of course, let's take Oscar De La Hoya. I remember he started 130. Can you believe that? 130, stop people. 135, stop people. 140, still stopping people. 145, that's when you started to see the power somewhat diminish. He was still stopping some fighters. Like Obakar, he fucked him up, right? That was, how many divisions? 1, 2, 3, 4. Teofimo Lopez moves up one weight division, and then you get those fucking stats that Gonzalo just gave us. Something's going on here.
Well, okay. Well, I'm a little bit confused. What angle are you coming from? Are you coming from that Tio's being criticized unfairly?
I'm just saying the power's not there for some reason. Just because he moved up one weight division, that's not an excuse. That's all I'm saying. I don't know the reason behind it. I don't know. Let's talk about it.
I think part of it is that he's not fighting. He's not fighting the same way he did it when he was at lightweight. He was, for the most part, at lightweight. He was very controlled. Now he wasn't controlled. He won the fight clearly against Nakatani, but again, it was not a good performance. I mean, the first words out of Teofimo's mouth after that fight was, "I'm never fighting somebody that much bigger than me," and I looked over that at the time, but in hindsight, that was Teo acting a little nervous, thinking, "Well, I just lost one of my key advantages." So, I think on one hand he's not fighting very controlled, but also there is such a thing as when you're bigger than your opponents, just as in physically bigger. It's easier to generate power, and against these bigger guys, especially bigger guys who can move like Martin and Ortiz, he just fights.
All right, okay. Let's get another take because it's going to be the Fight Sports Talk show here. Gonzalo.
Well, I think the reason, in my opinion, is because the opponents know his style. He's athletic, so he's going to jump in like a freaking tiger, and try to catch you. So if he catches you, good, but if he doesn't, you're missing. And when Teofimo misses, the opponents know, okay, that was his big shot. Let me counter this fucker back. Boom. And if Teofimo gets beat to the punch, well, the opponents are getting used to the speed. He's throwing fucking punches to try to rip my head off, but then he missed. Okay, now I'm countering him. I landed. I won the exchange, and fighters are surviving because they know that Teofimo is he's emotional and he just wants to rip your head off. And then he's losing the exchanges. He might be getting a little frustrated, and they get used to that speed because he's just trying to rip your head off once again. That he's not knocking out people because he's not getting there. He's not getting in there and throwing a punch with offset and rhythm or something that's surprising them anymore. They know what he brings to the table. In other words, Teofimo's a good fighter, but he relies on athleticism, and he could kind of be seen as a one or two trick pony.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to write off of that a little bit more and even go into this. I'm going to say that he stopped developing at a certain point.
Oh.
And he was writing on his laurels of beating Loma, because after that win, we never saw Teofimo come back again. We saw him decline as a fighter. We saw him psychologically change as his ego just got bigger and bigger. He probably felt like he didn't have to take anyone else seriously because he stopped developing. He's had arrested development. I don't think he's growing as a fighter anymore. I don't think he's pushing himself to learn new things. Mm-hmm. I think his ego has gotten in the way, and he probably thinks that he doesn't have anything else to learn. And I think that's where he's at. We know it's Claggett. The guy that beat Lomachenko that night should have easily beat Claggett, and the fact that or Kambosos, but I don't think he's developing anymore. I think Gonzalo was like heading there in that direction because he was saying a lot of he is a one-trick pony. He could be much more because he's a young guy, or he's getting older now. But at the time of the Lomachenko fight, he should have been pushing himself to develop more, and he stopped. And I think we're never going to see him return to his
That's an
former
interesting
glory.
take, though. What do you guys think?
That was a great. I couldn't agree more. Don, we disagree heavily on Canelo Scull, but I agree with you completely here. Like, the biggest problem with Tio, and this is why I'm so frustrated with him, it's his attitude. And there is a point where you've just got to say, okay, he's still fighting, he can still technically become that guy, but we have to understand he's probably not going to be that guy. And if you go, he still can't admit to any mistakes. Like, he never makes any mistakes, never does anything wrong. And, I mean, we'll see what the split with Eddie Reynoso means. And, I mean, we had Turkey publicly saying on Twitter, get back in the gym. So, yeah, he stopped developing, and when you act like you don't do anything wrong, that anytime something's wrong, something goes against you, it's the world against you, then it's terrible. So, yeah, it's a big problem there, and that's why he is walking a very thin rope of staying on top or staying on top as a world-class fighter and champion, and losing possibly everything.
All right, I want to ask this question that I already asked before, but now we have new people here. Gonzalo, you there? Gonz. Okay, Gonzalo's not there.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right,
yeah, I'm here.
If Teofimo Lopez loses this fight, where does he go, career-wise, obviously?
Well, Jesus, it's one of those things, man, that he got the Josh Taylor win and the Lomachenko win, which were big wins. But all the other fights in between, like, let me stress this again, against boxers like Barbosa, he looked less than stellar. And he won. He lost one of those, and two maybe out of those fights that he did win against Sandor Martin and who's that other guy? He could have lost, like the Puerto Rican kid.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Ortiz? Was it Ortiz? No.
Ortiz. Where does his career go from here? If he loses?
Yeah.
If he loses, he needs to. If he's one of those guys that, like, if he fails, he gets into his psyche, so he needs to do something big again. Would it be his last opportunity? Probably not. But as far as fulfilling stardom and remaining relevant, and to be like one of the top 10 like entertaining fighters in boxing, he would have to fight one of the champions at 147, like a Brian. He would have to completely jump to 147 and freaking say, I'm gonna take the top guy out there, the freaking interim champion, the number one challenger or two challenger, or if they give him the opportunity coming off a loss to face the real champion at 47, like Boots Ennis or fucking Mario Barrios or the winner of Pacquiao, that's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
If he loses, he has to face, he has to challenge for the titles at 147.
I mean, it could be a rematch. There could be a rematch, but there shouldn't be a rematch. I mean, Teofimo Lopez is the favorite in this fight.
Yeah. Then all that fucking goofing around, fronting for the cameras, that shit needs to go, because it's gonna get old.
Yeah.
He's just gonna have to go in there and fucking try to knock another motherfucker out to try to get some clout back and mature in the process, because he's not old. Mature and really be about representing something that could relate to the people.
Well, he's 27. How old is he? He's 27.
He's fucking annoying, mucho.
But he's 27.
He's annoying.
What do you mean he's not old? He's not old. I mean, at that age, he's acting like a kid, man. He's acting crazy. Like, seriously, he's acting like he's out of his fucking mind. If you weren't a boxer, you'd be saying, like, what the, but because it's Teofimo Lopez, it's fine. But this guy's out of his fucking mind.
And then sometimes it's cool, Bucho. Like, not saying that I don't mind. I don't really fucking care, but still, it's entertaining. And like, when I'm saying that I don't mind, sometimes the dude, he's kind of cool. Like, you could say, that dude acts like Macho Camacho, He's like the new Macho Camacho. He can dance, and he's got a cool fight to him.
Exactly. He tries too hard.
And then even the fighters at the press conference are like, man, shut the fuck up, dude.
Gonzalo. What, I don't know who's this? It's not Furioso. It's somebody else. Oh, he's gone. He said he's trying too hard. When Camacho was acting like a fucking crazy guy, it came out as natural. When it comes to Teofimo Lopez, it doesn't. That's why everybody's annoyed at him. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bit. It's kind of like a bit that he's doing. He's putting on an act, and he can't even commit to his own bit. That's what's sad about it, is that That's why he comes off as he's trying so hard, because he's trying to put up this persona, and he's trying to be. He thinks he's being clever, and he's just not. You can see right through it. He's not being clever. He's not clever. He's not smart enough to pull that off. Camacho at least had some. It was natural to him. It came natural to him. And with Teofimo, he's trying to be something he's not. And like I said, he's compensating for the fact that he's just not. His growth has been stunted, and he's still riding off of those Josh Taylor win and the Loma win. He brings it up any chance he gets. He brings up that he's the most accomplished guy on the panel with the 6 guys that were there at the conference. He brings up that he was the guy that
he's delusional. He's delusional. He thinks he's 3 times undisputed.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know that him having those close fights against boxers, in hindsight, is the worst thing that could have happened to him, because now he has experience fighting fighters on the back foot that can box. So my thing with this is like, yeah, well, what happens if Teofimo loses? Then we're writing him off, even though he's fucking cringe, but he's got a little something to him that he's like, all right, he's not, he's kind of cool. So what if he fucking wins? If he wins and knocks out Barbosa, dude, he's back on top.
He's back, man. That's what I was saying. Yeah,
he's supposed to win. But
he's back, dude.
Well.
What do you mean? If he not okay, hold on. If he didn't,
look, fool. He lost against Sandor Martin, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he got knocked down twice. That second one, they fucking.
That was a horrible
gift. Yeah,
that was a horrible fucking fight, dude.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to cut off the ring.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
Instead of cutting off the ring, right, the distance, what he does, he bull rushes you, kind of like if he's tackling you, and so he leaves his big ass head open. ¿Sí me entiendes? Like for those lead left hooks, Sandor Martin was landing all night. Same thing with Jermaine Ortiz. He couldn't capitalize. He couldn't make the proper adjustments.
And flagging.
And he made the excuse that, Jermaine Ortiz was running all night. No, dude, you don't know how to cut off the ring because your father never taught you. Your dad is not competent to be a high-level trainer.
Exactly.
¿Me entiendes? And these are the facts, bro. The Loma fight, like, it was close. It was a close fight. Loma was injured. And he was such a coward that he didn't want to give Loma the rematch. So in the way, he kind of ducked Loma for the rematch because he knew Loma was going to come in healthy and ready this time.
Yeah.
¿Sí me entiendes?
Well, I disagree,
but you know what?
Hold on. Too many people talking at the same time. Too many people talking at the same time. Too many people talking at the same time.
Loma turned it on at the second half of the fight. I agree with you on the Loma fight, but Loma turned it on, and when Loma got warmed up, and he turned it on, and Loma started dominating the fight, Teofimo came back at the last round, and it was so close that if it wasn't for that last round, I would have given the fight to Loma. That's how I thought. The fight was that close to me, in my opinion, and I think he edged it out.
You can't make excuses for Loma, and nobody wants to make excuses for him more than me because I'm a huge fan. But you can't make excuses for that fight. Like that, Teo fought brilliantly that night, which makes what he currently does. Yeah, I'm talking to whoever. I think it was Furioso who was talking about who was critiquing Teo based on the Loma fight and how he didn't take the rematch. There was no obligation for him to take the rematch. So I don't blame him there. I blame him for what we've seen since the Loma fight, which is, resting on his laurels, bringing up the past every chance he gets. Whenever something goes wrong, it's never his fault. And these are all just terrible things. Like, the Loma fight, what really stood out to me is that he fought, again, perfectly that night. And I don't blame Loma's injury. Teo beat him fair and square, that's it. But he said after the fight, everybody wants to be money made, but you got to be pretty boy Floyd first. And I loved it. Again, I thought we were going to see the second coming of Tommy Hearns. And since then, it's just been entitled time and time again.
What the fuck?
What? All right.
Well, I mean, come on, like think about it, right? If he was like this big hot shot, right? How can you beat Loma and then lose against lower tier fighters, like B-level fighters, Cambosis, Sandor, Jermaine Ortiz.
Furioso, I agree with you. I agree.
Really? Do you?
Yeah, I agree. He beat the great Lomachenko clearly, but he hasn't looked good since. I don't know where we disagree here.
By the way, that's not Furioso. I don't even know what your name is. Big Dragon.
Well, Big Dragon.
That's Professor X. BDA says in the chat. That's Professor X.
You know, like, I'm going into this fight knowing that he's the favorite, and I know that he has a better chance of beating Barboza if he takes him seriously. But, you know, there's always someone, they brought it up earlier, and we all know this, that we don't know what Loma we're going to get, of course. We all know that. And if he does win, okay, it's a good win. It's not a great win, but it's a good win. But what's going to be important is how he wins this fight. If he completely dominates Barboza, then okay, he might be taking his career seriously again. I don't know. But if the guy comes in and struggles with Barboza, and Barboza's a good fighter, he's not great. There's nothing really special that he's got that I could say, like, oh, Barboza's like really generational talent. He's really good. He's got a chance to be a unified champion at 140. Like, I don't see that.
Yeah, this is the perfect opponent for Teofimo Lopez to show us if he still has it or anything left. You know what I mean? Because you're right. It's not a shitty opponent. It's not a great, amazing opponent. It's just an opponent. Like, okay, you got to get him out of the way if you want to continue with your career as a superstar.
Is a test. He's got to prove to the fans that he's got what it takes to continue on in the sport. Because if he doesn't do well, if he wins, but he just and it's like a Claggett type win.
Yeah. Oh,
fuck it, dude.
We're done with this shit, man.
And may I add this?
He can't get away with another bad performance.
And if I may add this as well, like, I don't mean to come off as the female hater, bro, but one thing that really has bothered me from Tio and his dad, especially his dad, is that they've been shitting on Canelo and Eddie Reynoso.
What?
Right. First they want to clout chase, and then they want to talk shit about them.
What happened? No,
hey, you didn't know about this?
Tell us.
No, but I thought they were in the team, and the only reason, the only reason, well, excuse me, I mean, the only reason that they didn't join the team is because Canelo's, he's busy over there in fucking Saudi Arabia.
No, güey, no. Su papá es una pinche rata, güey. Mira, güey, let me break it down, fool. So, Teofimo has came out in interviews, same with his dad on Punch Drunk. Because, you know, Punch Drunk is sponsored by the Lopez, right?
Yeah,
that channel is sponsored by the Lopez family. Yeah. So,
hey, Punch Drunk, I love you, man.
So Teofimo comes out in this interview, right? And he's saying that basically his dad, like, basically anything that Eddie Reynoso could teach him, his dad could teach him as well, because they're in the same level.
Yeah, so I know what he said, and that's bad. It was just more deflection.
Oh, let him finish. I want to hear all of this shit. Go ahead.
Professor. And he was also saying that Eddie Reynoso was never going to be the head trainer. He was just going to be an assistant.
Yes.
How the fuck are you going to be an assistant trainer when a guy is training in your fucking gym? So basically what these guys were doing, they were just cloud chasing off of Canelo's name. That's all they were doing, but they never.
That's what I don't think there's much that people do nowadays, right? There's not much wrong there, dude. He's just being honest. Yeah, because it's always been the case.
Julio, that's some snake shit, dog.
But Reynoso always focuses on Canelo, so you're always second fiddle to Canelo. That's the whole thing.
No. But see, you're not getting the point, bro. The point is that,
I don't mean to sound like a fucking dick, but you gotta realize these fools ain't Mexican. And you know, sometimes the Hondurans or the Salvadorians, you know,
just say it. Yeah.
I don't know.
Just say it.
No, it's true.
Just say it.
Oh my God, we're going into race again. This is ridiculous.
No. It's because fight sports. You gotta understand. This is an eternal war. This is like an eternal civil war.
Furioso.
American, they can understand each other.
They fucking fight over stupid. It's not just that. It's social media. It's fucking race. It's everything in the book that you can think of. Because this shit's a fight or it's fucking money. You're not going to tell me that Teofimo's dad doesn't have a precedence or like a reputation of being kind of like a slime ball. That you wouldn't put it above him.
So he left. So wait. He left Reynoso. Is that what happened? And he said that.
Well, I don't know if it's specifically the race, but what he's, dude, you never know what another person is thinking. In other words, if you're a snake, like Haney is saying, like freaking, it makes people think a bunch of shit. Yeah, if something happened there, you can't fuck around with. I will say this about Canelo.
Dude, everybody,
style that don't agree always with everything.
Dude, everybody.
That's the dude. Him and Eddie Reynoso too, because in Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, they got the same personality. Those are the types of dude that you see in a party, and they're not like fuck. They're not out there to be your friends. Yeah, they're cool, but at the same time, they rub a lot of people the wrong way, dude.
Well, dude,
So carne, ¿sabes? Como el Canelo siempre when he's speaking, he always starts up by saying
Gonz, you made your point.
Yeah, fucking rambling. I heard you fucking rambling. I heard you rambling.
You're the one barely sitting.
I'm happy Canelo lo mandó a la verga, güey. I'm glad Canelo lo mandó a la verga, güey.
Yeah, you know what I noticed, guys? When I noticed that at some point, I would notice that I saw a video. Now, it's only one video. I wasn't at the fucking gym or anything, but what I noticed was that Reynoso was holding the mitts, the pads, and for Teofimo Lopez, and you could hear Teofimo Lopez's father yelling in the background something like, "Guy, let these two guys work," and he's yelling, "Ah, ah, ah," and then he stands up because he was sitting at the back. He starts approaching because he knew that the cameras were there. They were, they were recording Eddie Reynoso with Teofimo Lopez, and he wants to be in the shot and pretend that he's doing something.
And I was going to mention this to Haney. I was going to mention this to Haney, but I didn't think it was that important. But I'll say it now. Yeah, you know how Teofimo's father, he's got a WBC belt. And Reynoso's got like 2-3 of them motherfuckers.
Trainer of the year.
So actually, freaking Teofimo's dad, was he bestowed trainer of the year for a year, or did he get second fiddle? He got one of them fucking belts. So he's feeling some type of way, probably also, that he belongs in boxing. And he he still wants to be that guy. When it comes, but nobody has seen anything from Teofimo's father aside from Teofimo. Not even one fighter, I believe, or something. Right?
Yeah, I don't think that guy.
I just want to say two things.
Let Big Dragon go in, because Big Dragon was going to say something before. Big Dragon and then... Hold on, guys. This is King Bucho. This is Bucho. Okay. Big Dragon, and then FUTV.
Okay, thank you, Bucho. Just want to say 3 quick points, power points. First and foremost, Julio has no say-so because he's a big Canelo hater. Oh, second, Teofimo's
talking about Reynoso.
Hold on. Gonzalo, wait. I want to hear this.
Second, I'm a psychologist. Second, I'm a psychologist. I got my degree in the penitentiary, right? So check this out.
Oh boy, here we go.
Check this out, wait.
Go ahead.
Hey, who did I ask you for this?
Wait, hold on, Gonzalo.
You know wait. If you notice, fool, all right, like what Bucho was saying, I'm gonna piggyback what Bucho was stating. When Teofimo was working with Eddie Reynoso in the water bag, right? He they were going over the drills, fool, the counter punches. You could tell in Teofimo's dad's body language, he was really uncomfortable because all the attention was on Eddie and Teo. So what he started doing, he started slithering inside there like a culebra he is, and he started kind of like giving Teo pointers. And it's like, bro, like, why are you butting in? Like, let Teo work with Eddie. ¿Sí me entiendes? But he tried to make it seem like he was the head coach. Like he was making a statement, fool. That's body language. You could tell right away, fool. And then my third point is that the only reason why Tio's dad got trainer of the year, fool, was because he had to suck Mauricio Sulaman's dick for that. That's all I got to say.
Interesting.
They never worked. They never worked a fight or a camp together. So you can't really look at that dynamic and say, well, yeah, like seeing how they were running camp.
They tried working in the past before. They tried working in the past. Remember?
But
you guys don't remember.
Canelo was traveling.
Canelo camp for years, well.
Yeah, Canelo's like he had big fights. He was traveling. Like, you know, Tio had different fights. Did they have like fights on the same like week or same weekend at times, man? So it's just, I don't know. It's just something they probably wanted to go. I mean, he wanted to go. They're friends. He's friends with Canelo, so he probably just wanted to go there and try to
fuck around. Teofimo's dad pisses off Canelo, they're gonna get kicked out, fool.
Yeah, I mean, and I know a guy that knows Teofimo, and Teofimo, he likes to travel. He was down here in San Antonio like 2 times recently. He came down here for a local boxing card, and then he came down again like a month later just to it seemed like he was just hanging out. And then you see him all in these other places. Yeah. You even saw Turkey Al-Sheikh saying, "Hey, stop making videos. You gotta fight to train for." So he's everywhere. Yeah. He travels, you know.
Well, there's opponents in Texas. There's opponents in Texas. That's why he's scouting out his opponents. There's like some Mexican dudes from Texas, some black dudes, boxers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. All our best guys go to like Robert Garcia's camps and stuff, man. And the other guys that were
a new spot, dude.
Yeah, right? I know. Robert's down here a lot. He has family down here. Robert has family down here. He has gyms down here in San Antonio.
Yep.
He has RTBA.
Hey, that dude's blowing up. He's flowing up.
He also promotes his own shows down here. He promotes his own shows down in San Antonio. He has a crop of fighters down here that are not signed to anybody. But it's smart because these guys are pretty good. We don't know if they're top net level yet. Like Daniel Cortez.
He opened the gym in the mall. He opened the gym in the mall.
There's a kid, Daniel Cortez. He's a really good little like bantamweight, but he's not signed to anybody. But if you think about it, Robert Garcia has the money, and he's going to be like, hey,
he's got the sparring partner. He's got the champions. He could fight freaking. What's the name of the champion? The brother to the other guy.
Yeah, there's Franco. Rodriguez. Yeah, there's Bam. There's Franco, but Franco just opened up his own gym. Franco, they had Tanahara.
All right, so what are we talking about now? We going way into something else here.
Yeah, because Tanahara got knocked out by Cepeda, but Cepeda's in the fight now. I want to see that.
Yeah, but Oscar did Tanahara dirty, man.
You know what? You know why? Because the fights are like landmarks to me. When I reach that date, I'm gonna be doing this, right? Positively. Right?
Yeah, and he did Tanahara dirty. Oscar did. I mean, I know Tanahara personally. He's a good kid. He wasn't ready. But he wasn't ready.
All right, guys, let's change
you guys talking about Reynoso or like
what the fuck's going on? Guys, I know, but there's people listening. There's people listening to this. You got to think about whether or not they're interested in all of this. You know what I mean?
No, yes, let's move on.
Yeah, guys are moving on multiple subjects.
Hey, who said? Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say earlier that all these guys. The what?
Gonzalo, what the fuck, man? What's going on?
Right. I was gonna say earlier. I mean, it's. I don't know the exact reason why he left. Do you know why he left? Because it sounds like you're assuming. It's to me, it sounded perfect. You know, you have Reynoso as like another coach. He's not the head coach because he can't be the head coach because he's dealing with Canelo. His number one guy is Canelo. That's his number one interest, right? He's the big cash cow. You're going to come second. And so to me, it makes perfect sense that you would have your dad as the head coach and then Reynoso after that, right? Because Reynoso, he can't give all his time to this fighter, to anyone fighter other than Canelo.
They were just getting tips and tricks. He was just politicking to get fans to kind of follow him that follow Canelo. I mean, that's what he is, man. And because, you know, his dad's always going to be the number one guy. Him and what's that other kid, Austin, he's also down here. Him and like Tio and Kid Austin, they still get locked in their rooms by their dads at night. Their dads don't let them go out.
He's training with Reynoso as well. Wait, he's training with
Reynoso. I'm talking about the way the dads have a grip on on their sons, where they can't do shit. I guarantee they hold their money. They lock them in their room. They take away their cell phones at night. You know what I mean? Like these guys have a weird grip on their kids. So it's always gonna be Tio Senior running the show. He just went out there for photo ops. He just likes to hang out, and it's smart for him. Like let me get some clout off of Canelo, because he's the superstar. Right?
He's living through him.
But I mean, you can also learn some things off Canelo. Go in his camp and like, hey, Canelo's gonna give you.
What about the bananas? What about the bananas? Where did those come from?
You know where that came from? That's him. That's him. That's him copying Cat, bro. He was copying.
Nope, did we lose somebody here?
And then he got away with it. So he was like, I'm going to be racist too.
So who was responsible for that?
Tio.
Yeah.
All right. Can I ask you something?
Huh? Who?
Can I just ask you, when I first came on here, I gave you my predictions, and you said there's a lot of Tio hate. Now everybody's been critical of Tio.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody's like saying that he's gonna lose. No, so he's gonna win or lose. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is he winning or losing? Teofimo Lopez.
I think he's gonna take that dude to school.
Oh,
yeah, I agree.
I think he's too damn slow for him.
I hope I'm wrong, but I agree. I hope he gets upset. I hope he looks like shit.
There's not enough of a work rate, and he's just too slow.
It's gonna be a boring fight.
But you never know with Tio because he's hot and cold. He might have another off night. The guy, I think his ego is just too big.
Yeah, but think about it. He's not even on the co-main. He's on the opener, right? So
I think he's a co-main event. I think that's the co-main event. No, it's Devin Haney. Devin Haney's the co-main event.
Yeah, because they're building that fight up to be the next fight.
Yes.
I'm biased because my mom and my grandma are from El Monte, California.
Whatever happened to Devin Haney?
We know what you're about. We know what you're about.
They were born in El Monte. My mother and my grandmother were born in El Monte, where what's his name, Barbosa's from.
Yeah,
I'd say Teofimo, I don't give a fuck if he loses, actually. I think Teofimo's dangerous. To me, it's a 50-50 fight, dude. Who do I think win? My prediction was Barbosa wins because he's had trouble with the boxers. And if they give it to a boring guy, dude, he's not in the fight. So if fucking Devin Haney, that's writing on the future fight. No, you would also think that Teofimo's the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, Barbosa has to make Tio lead and set traps, and I don't think he has that in his game because Tio doesn't like to lead. Tio likes to explode.
I think Barbosa wins. His name carries some attention now. Barbosa's in the big money fight.
But hey guys, you know what I think would be better for this whole thing? I think if Devin Haney looks like shit, maybe gets upset, and Tio wins in a really good win. I would rather see Tio versus. No, I'd rather see Tio versus Ryan. Because think about Tio versus Devin. Devin clinches too much.
Well, we might see that. We might see that because the talk is that after this fight, Ryan might fight Boots. That's really what they want. They
just released a trailer of Haney and Garcia.
True. Obviously, they're trying to build it. I know, but there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about him fighting Boots.
Dude, who's talking to who? This is another thing. If Arnold Barboza, if Teofimo Lopez outboxed Josh Taylor at the time, if something crazily didn't go off wrong with Josh Taylor, and you could say he's been fighting good competition and won all of the time until that moment, that was a good opponent.
Yeah.
And Teofimo can box too. For a smaller guy, of course, he can box better. Pound for pound, he's the best. So this guy, he's done really well against two top elite fighters, but then other guys that can box also very, very good. But there's something that Loma and Josh Taylor don't have. I don't know, man.
But you know what? Hey, but that Josh Taylor fight, that Josh Taylor win, it didn't age well. And I think Josh Taylor maybe just wasn't all there. And with Loma, Loma was tiny, and I do believe the shoulder injury. I'm not just trying to make excuses for the guy, and he was coming on late. So I don't know, man. It's all about timing, man. These guys time, and sometimes like Devin Haney, they're in the right place at the right time where he takes out Kambosos for all the belts. I mean, these guys sometimes just land in a good spot. And that's what happened with Tio. That's what happened with Haney. But honestly, bro, out of all these guys, I like fucking Ryan the most. You know why? Because he's got balls, bro. Like this, when he says he wants to fight Boots, I believe him. Like we all thought he was stupid. We all thought he was stupid for signing the hydration clauses and all that. But yo, as stupid as that was, he's fucking crazy and he'll go for it.
No. And I like the look. He's kind of like I like the look he carries now. He reminds me of the dude from Karate Kid. The dude that beat up Johnny LaRusso. He's got that cool
he looks like he got his head screwed on it.
He's got that cool Cobra Kai look, like he's gonna fuck you up, and he already told you.
Yes.
You know what's funny, bro? You know what's funny?
Refocus on the sport.
You got all these fighters that are trying to be the heel, and like Devin Haney and guys that they know they're never gonna have fan bases. They're trying to, okay, let me just try to be a Floyd bad guy, and it doesn't work. You know who's pulling off the bad guy thing the best is Ryan, and not only that, he has the looks. So he still has girls that follow him. I went to his fight in San Antonio like 2 years ago. I think it was this week, 2 years ago. When he filled up that Alamo Dome, man. During the parade the state has.
He's a pay-per-view star. Ryan's gone back to the clean cut. Have you seen his interviews?
What's that about? What's going on?
He's not talking shit anymore. He's not talking shit.
All right, guys, one at a time. I don't know if you guys realize everybody's talking at the same time. It's fucking chaotic. All right,
I'm just trying to respond to what he just said.
Okay, F you and then Big Dragon.
So if you watch the interviews, Ryan looks refocused on the sport. I'm really happy about that because I think he has a lot of potential to really clean up when it comes to the 147 division. I think that if Devin Haney doesn't look good on Friday, most likely Ryan's not going to be rematching him. I think he's gonna end up fighting Boots because it's not. Even though they're building it up, I saw obviously the trailers look like it's a fucking Devin Haney versus Ryan fight. But if this guy looks like shit, I don't know if that rematch is going to happen. So,
dude, and you're right. I agree. You know, another reason I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen because in the end, Haney's going to hang on to the PED excuse because he knows if he loses again, there's no coming back from that mentally. He's already talking to a shrink, but even from the fans being a meme again, he won't be able to handle it. He won't. I think
Ryan looks more psychologically stable than Haney does. Haney to me looks
crazy.
I disagree.
He looks like he's gone back. Like the guy's not crazy anymore. He looks incredibly
because he's bipolar. He's bipolar.
Nah, dude. I don't think so. I think he just got this crazy amount of fame.
But you know what? In boxing, you gotta be crazy. That's how you. It works for some guys. Some guys are like disciplined.
It's not a good idea.
I think it's controlled craziness. If that even makes sense, controlled craziness. I don't know. Like Teofimo Lopez. You know, guys, Gonzalo, what Teofimo is displaying?
Let me say something.
Yeah.
Ryan knocks out Gervonta Davis right now, dude.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he's never gonna fight him again. I mean, he's too big. It's too big.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
He's a 147 solid now. That's his weight.
I mean, even Haney and Haney's father said that if they fight Ryan again, it will be at 147. Yeah. Sorry. 147.
Imagine Bucho put Ryan Garcia versus Lamont Roach in the small ring.
Oh yeah, I think Ryan beats him.
He knocks him out, dude.
Did y'all see that bag work by Ryan when he looked full? Yo, this dude that still has that whip on his hooks in his right hand, bro.
I mean, he's a young guy. He didn't lose that shit.
That's his best, and he still got it he's in his prime.
But what I mean by the whip and the snap is like usually when you see guys put on weight, they get slower and they lose that snap. But he's still
he was always dehydrated.
Ryan Garcia is hitting harder. He's hitting harder right now than he's ever hit in his life. If you add
this is the problem with these guys.
How does he weigh? With that speed in that whip that you're talking about, the mass that he's generating in his grown and his man body, he's fucking landing with. Right now, he's barely punching. They haven't seen it, dude, at his weight, but he can never go below 145.
I think he could still grow a little bit more if you look at the way he's built. For 147, he could definitely put more weight on.
How old is Ryan?
He's what, 24?
But his legs are skinny though. I don't know. I mean,
they're filling in. I think they're filling.
Yeah.
He's always wearing those. He's always wearing those little shorts in training. It fucking looks weird, but he's always wearing those little. What's that? Popeye's girlfriend's name.
He's very fashionable.
And then they always said it in the fucking in the videos that they showed it to you that he was eating a slice of fucking chicken breast with a piece of avocado and 2 toasts. He would only eat like a meal and just like a little bit extra. And he wouldn't drink water, but they were saying, oh, he can run like fucking 7 miles a day and shit. In other words, why not eat all that you can? It's better to eat all the food that you can. I'm not saying gorge or fucking overeat. But then let your body, dude, let your body be your own weight.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ryan is 26, just in your know.
Okay, yeah, he's right in his prime,
bro.
I think Ryan, bro, has the whole package, right? Complete package to be like a big pay-per-view star, bro, like a big boxing star.
I mean, he already is.
He needs defense,
like
bro.
even bigger way, like he was the one that Canelo was supposed to pass the torch to.
He has the potential to make a lot of super fights.
His fighting style is a little bit trendy, like what the recent fighters' styles are.
No, it's just that
I think he would be a much powerful boxer, but right now he's kind of like showboaty.
No, it's because he's only fought one time a year for different reasons. Right now it was a suspension. Last time
he got a suspension for some bullshit, and whatever fucking athletic association is screwing him over. Because
before it was because of the COVID.
He doesn't need the belt.
He's still young, dude. He's gonna do a lot of.
Hey guys, I gotta end the show. You guys can continue if you want. I gotta go. All right, see you.
What the F? I just
came on here for 3 hours.
Hey, I just want to say one more thing about Ryan. I just want to say one more thing about Ryan.
This is one of the longest shows you've done in a while, huh?
I don't know one thing about Ryan, and I gotta go too. But Ryan,
have a good
Ryan
one,
doesn't need the belts. Ryan he's almost kind of like a Jake Paul / real fighter zone because he's never won a title. But he's so popular, he doesn't need the titles. When I went to his fight, that I go to a lot of fights, and the crowd he brought was diverse, man. I saw people from the country. I saw girls. I saw teenagers. It's crazy. But usually when I go to fights, there's like a bunch of old Mexicans, you know?
That's what I was talking about.
A lot of inclusivity. A lot of inclusiveness.
Yeah, he has the package,
all
bro.
across the board.
He has the looks. Está guapo, güey. Está guapo el vato.
They screwed him over. He's way taller than Jerome to base.
All right. Oh boy. All right. We gotta leave, guys. We got more shows coming up this week. We can't stay all night here, unfortunately, but should have another show tomorrow, and then we have the countdown show on Friday, and then the immediate post-fight show, and then we have a countdown show on Saturday and an immediate post-fight show as well. So we got a lot of BDA boxing. So let's not overdose, guys. I want to thank you for being here. Please hit the like if you enjoyed the show. It really helps out the channel, the algorithms. And so, yeah, see ya. Take care.